would throw here. Stands back near his own end zone, fires it out, and Gorkhuber's got it. He's out past the 30, 40, midfield, down to the 40. He could go all the way. Oh my goodness. This is going to state football tournament. Now here is a pitch. Snidey gets it. He'll go down in the backfield. Oh, here by Hadley Marty. Now a play in the middle, again pushed over. Monticello getting a little tentative here. Schlichting will push it. And frequently becomes scoring chances for the team taking the corner. This one is bent in, a header, and it's off the goal post and in. Okay, yeah, so we must have had Ellie Meyer the previous one. So Abby Haig going to play it out, and here comes St. Cloud getting behind the defense here. Longnecker trying to make the shot. Now Madeline Lewis is battling Brecklin Ellingson, and here's a possible odd man rush up the left side. Here's a shot and a goal. Ready to head down the runway here. High and then
in the gym, Monticello here getting ready to go on a run here, down 11 for the Cardinals here. It'll be super important to take care of the basketball.
3 by Evink is good, and Ellie Hommelvig has the defensive rebound for the Cardinals. Now off to Hennessy, then straight on 3 by Helscher. That doesn't go, and a good box out there as the Cardinals' Miles Gray gets the rebound. Ahead to Roderick, then out to Mason Witt, who
pulls this out over this last minute.
Yep, and now a pass gets tipped. Could be another flush. There it is. Boys basketball team comes against a formidable foe, the #1 ranked team in Class AAA, the Totino-Grace Eagles. Visit Bowling Court at Alexandria Area High School. Should be a dandy matchup tonight. Great test for both teams prior to section play. We know that they will not be playing anymore after tonight because Totino-Grace remains in Class 3A for the playoffs, while Alexandria will compete in Class 4A for the first time in many years, starting on Tuesday night. The crowd continues to file into Alexandria Area High School. We're going to have a very good audience on hand, but we appreciate your company as well, whether you're watching on the Voice of Alexandria YouTube channel or joining us through traditional method through Leighton Media KXRA Radio. This is our Juettner Motors pregame show coming to you in front of the boys basketball varsity matchup as Alexandria at 18-6 faces Totino-Grace, presently at 21-2. We've got the band back together for our broadcast tonight, which includes videographer J.P. Boleen. We've got Jackson as our KXRA radio studio engineer, and joining me for the coverage tonight is Russ Henricks. And Russ, good evening to you as well. And again, boy, I tell you, we're going to see hopefully some exciting series of basketball games once we get to the playoffs. This game's almost going to have a playoff feel to it, although it's considered a regular season game.
Yeah, good evening, DMAC. Great to be back with you. Yeah, tonight is the ultimate test, right? I mean, this is a team that had won 3 straight Class 3A titles until we beat them last year in the state tournament to kind of end that run, to win a state championship of our own. And, you know, this is the kind of team you obviously want to see how you're doing here before you get into the playoffs. We're a week away here from March Madness, basically starting playoff season. So this is a great test at a great time for the Cardinals to close out another very, very successful regular season. And, you know, I know they're gonna give Totino everything they want tonight.
Totino-Grace is 21-2. I believe the Eagles suffered back-to-back defeats right around the end of the old calendar year. I think one loss in December and then a loss in January, and then they rattled off a number of victories since then. Alexandria, meanwhile, has had some defeats along the way, but I don't know if Alexandria, out of the record being 18-6 right now, if the Cardinals have had a bad loss this year.
No, absolutely. You know, I think you go back and you look at, you know, we had that stretch of games that we played without talent, and you know, even on Saturday when you know, that was our first loss where we had our full complement of players basically, since you know, Brendan has been out for the year, but against an undefeated Tartan team that had won 59 games in a row, and we were tied with them, you know, with about 4 minutes to go. So we put together a very challenging schedule. The coaches did for a reason, so that you're prepared at the end of the year for playoff time. You know, sometimes you can have one of those inflated records and have a bunch of wins, but if you're not playing anybody and you get in a close game, who knows what's going to happen come playoff time. So this is one last chance here, one last tune-up, one last test. We've been trying to get Totino to come to Alec to play for number of years, I should say, and now that we're a 4A team, they agreed to come. So it's going to be an exciting night of basketball.
And we look forward to bringing you the play-by-play. Again, our varsity tip time will be right around 7:15, so we're pretty much on schedule tonight here at Alexandria Area High School. Thanks to all of the boosters of our Alexandria Cardinal sports coverage who are helping to bring you tonight's play-by-play. You'll be enjoying their messages and promotional announcements throughout the course of the coverage. Special thanks to Juettner Motors in Alexandria for being the presenting sponsor of our pregame show. We're going to take a break. We'll enjoy the messages from our boosters of the Cardinal sports programming tonight. And then when we return to Alexandria Area High School, my conversation with Cardinal boys basketball coach Forrest Witt. That follows this timeout.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
When you come to Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill, you can count on great food, over 30 beers on tap, and a creative drink menu.
Come join us today at Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill in Alexandria.
Good service, good friends, and a great place to eat.
Why do I bank at First Western? Easy. They take care of their customers.
First Western. You can bank on us.
It's the right time for a getaway. It's the right time for a getaway. Let's get away.
Better water starts with EcoWater. Get started today and discover EcoWater's products and expertise for the perfect solution. Visit WeFixWaterMN.com with offices in Alexandria, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Morris.
Being locally owned here at the Culvers of Alexandria, Charles Johnson and myself, John Loomis, are very proud to be a part of the community. We enjoy the time we get to spend here, the memories we've made, and we're excited to see you after the game when you need to refuel.
Go Cardinals!
I just get a great satisfaction when I hear the relief in a customer's voice that they've been helped. They always feel it's an inconvenience when they call us. It's like, it's never an inconvenience. We love helping our customers.
At Viking Bank, we're invested in your journey.
For over 30 years, Northland Buildings has been providing quality post-frame buildings to customers, serving clients across the upper Midwest since 1994. Northland Buildings. Quality buildings built tough for the Northland.
Northland Building.
Who do you turn to if you or a loved one is experiencing a mental health crisis? We're here. Region 4 South Mobile Crisis Team will come to you by calling 701-364-0431.
If you haven't experienced all new Woodies, you're missing out on the best clean in town.
We installed all new equipment and high suction vacuum service,
but kept our personalized touch with our pre-wash and hand drying service.
Get your shine on
at Woody's Car Wash in the heart of downtown Alexandria.
Trum Drug has things in every aisle that you won't find anywhere else, and many of them are made right here in Minnesota. Stop in and grab something for yourself, a friend, or family. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
As the seasons change, so do the needs of your car. That's when Alexandria drivers turn to Mike and Josh at Precision Auto. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, trust a pro. Precision Auto on 8th and Nokomis, Alexandria.
We welcome you back to Alexandria Area High School with more of our Juettner Motors pregame show. Our coach's comments feature during the pregame being brought to you by Alamere Health. It's better here. DMAC joined right now by Forrest Witt, the head coach of the Alexandria Cardinal boys basketball team. Forrest, I know that our crew was up in Brainerd last week and got to see your team get a victory against the Brainerd Warriors, and that led into the weekend where you had the opportunity to play an undefeated Tartan Titans team down in the Twin Cities. I know a lot of fans, probably from Alexandria especially, but for both schools, really excited about that matchup. Tartan would emerge with a 6-point win, although your team really came on strong in the second half. In spite of the outcome of last Saturday's game, are there some good things that you can pull out of that performance?
Yeah, we had a very good second half. Unfortunately, the first half was not very good, and they were up 15 at halftime. And primarily, they play very good defense. We struggled. We didn't. I didn't think we screened real well. They tend to, when teams are really aggressive, you like to get some screens and some curls and slips to the basket. We just didn't really do a very good job of that. It wasn't turnovers, it just, we went deep in the shot clock and just never really had great looks. But like I said, in the second half, we were much, much better on the glass. We were more settled offensively. We got out in transition a little bit. I thought our defensive rotations were better. To get, I believe it was at the 5-minute mark where we tied it up and, had some chances there. And they had some kids step up and hit some three-point shots, a couple of them in particular that were big shots and ultimately, created that separation that they'd be able to hold on to.
Tartan has held the number 1 ranking in Class 4A boys basketball for a good portion of the year. And I know that you were excited about having Tartan on the schedule. I think this game was originally to be played back in December at Edina High School as part of a breakdown classic, but fortunately things worked out where you end up playing them toward the end of February. Timing-wise, was it a good opportunity to play a team that you might see later on in the state boys basketball tournament?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're... having Talon back certainly helps. Now he wasn't in, he's not in his peak condition right now, having just gotten back, but it was certainly nice to have him out there. And you could tell he was shaking some rust off, but just having his presence out there was nice. I just think whenever you can play a really good opponent like Tartan, it shows things that you need to work on, and it sometimes, in a lopsided game when you win, you don't always get that slap in the face of, hey, we got to get better at this, and it's an immediate feedback to kids and coaches sometimes to, hey, we got to be better here. Like we're not good enough in this area, and sometimes those things slide a little bit or go unnoticed. And maybe get bypassed somewhat by players. I don't think coaches we have, but when you take one on the chin, you always look a little bit differently and reflect on it, and that game certainly did that for us.
And we'll talk a little bit more about tonight's matchup in just a moment, but having Totino-Grace, a team that I think is 21-2 and presently ranked number 1 in Class AAA, having them on the schedule right now, is that another one of those type of matchups where, again, they can kind of point some things out to you as to things you need to work on with the sections on the horizon?
Yeah, I mean, it's, with our non-conference, starting with Maple Grove and then over holidays, Cretin, De La Salle, we got the game with Nicollet out of Milwaukee canceled, and then Tartan, and then tonight with Totino. They're well coached. They have very good athletes, great systems, all of those programs, and it brings to light some things that you need to see. And I'm not worried about a loss. I just want our kids to be able to adjust in games, and maybe those weaknesses are shown to light so that we can then go back and retool and work on them and just compete and play hard, play together. That's really the ultimate goal. And if we do those things, we've been fine traditionally.
Forrest, I know that as we put together our conversation in the coach's office, there's a piece of hardware nearby, I believe, something your guys earned over the course of the last couple of months, that being outright Central Lakes Conference champions this year. The 15th and final win in the league occurred on Tuesday night. What was your read on what you saw over at Sauk Rapids Rice High School?
Yeah, just obviously, the beginning of the season, that was, one of our goals to win a conference championship. The kids played very well. We had really, really good energy. We were able to force Sauk Rapids into difficult shots. I thought offensively the ball was moving really well. And to me, I think sometimes you with like a conference championship or a section, to me it's really an indicator of, you have a group of guys that are willing to sacrifice for one another. And I don't, I know speaking for myself as a high school kid, you don't always see those things, but on the coaching side, you see, the different sacrifices that kids make. We always tell our JV guys that you guys, a lot of you would be playing varsity in other programs in the conference, and for them, so it's not only the varsity guys, but at the collective group. And when you have success, I think guys are doing things generally the right way, and that's a conference championship is to me it's just a reflection of that, and we've been fortunate to be a part of several of these in the the last 6 years, and it matches up. We've got great kids. A lot of them have put a lot of time into the game.
Forrest, as I was looking at some of the information regarding state rankings in boys basketball, I think I communicated with you in an email earlier in the day that you have head-to-head meetings with the two top teams in the bigger school classes, Class 3A and Class 4A. Class AA, Morris area, Chicago, Alberta, your alma mater, is ranked number 1. And then off in Otter Tail County, Henning is ranked number 1 in Class A. And I know that both of those programs have had a lot of success in recent years. But how cool is it to see your Tiger basketball team from your playing days doing so well right now?
Yeah, Jacob has done a great job with those guys and his staff. I know a lot of those kids just, have my son and his friends have some friendships with some of those kids. They've done a tremendous job. Hopefully they can make a push in the section tournament and see what happens, and maybe keep that winning streak alive into March.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. I don't know if Montevideo goes to the south half of 3AA and Morris area, Chicago, Alberta's in the north half, but could it be Monty and Morris area, finding a way to meet each other later in the postseason?
Yeah, I believe they are. I know they were in the last, sectional, pairings and whatnot, but I'm not exactly sure, but I do know Montevideo has a very good team. I watched them play a little bit when they were here for our Winter Lakes breakdown event, and and that's it. I've learned over the years that sometimes if you have a good team and you've beat them twice or once, sometimes you throw that out the window, and it sometimes can be a little more pressure on the higher seed, but you certainly two good basketball teams, and hopefully you see those two in the competing for a championship.
Our guest right now is Forrest Witt, the head coach of the Alexandria Cardinal boys basketball team prior to the regular season finale with Alexandria hosting Totino-Grace. Forrest, I had the opportunity to connect with Nick Carroll a little while ago before we put together our interview. And, I know that his team and his program has had tons of success, but he has so much respect for what you and Tom and your assistants are doing here in Alexandria. He's really excited about having Alexandria on the schedule right before they start postseason play in Class AAA. How excited are you to have a quality opponent like Totino-Grace visit Alexandria?
Yeah, it's we're 2 hours out of the metro, obviously, as everyone knows here, and we make that trip frequently. So sometimes jokingly talking to coaches that are from the metro, hey, you're coming out to the sticks out here. Hopefully you're okay getting that far away from home. But certainly to have like we had Maple Grove and had Totino-Grace tonight. It's just. Yeah, to me, it speaks to what we've all been able to build as a program for them to come out here and play us. It's going to be a great for the viewers tonight that are in attendance, and just to be able to see really good high school basketball in your town makes me as a coach proud to be a part of that, and hopefully we can do our part and compete and pull out a win.
I get the feeling that both of these teams are very capable of filling it up. I asked Nick Carroll, I said, is this a game that could go triple figures for both sides? And, I don't know if he necessarily wants that. I think, both teams can really execute on the offensive end of the floor, but Is this going to be a game where it gets played into the 80s or 90s or even north of that, or might it be similar to what we saw in the state tournament last year where I think your team won somewhere around 74-65?
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams are capable of playing both ways. I mean, we want to get out and run. We want it to be more up-tempo. I think they do too, watching them. I mean, they play 10 guys, and it's 10 solid. They're not bringing anybody that's weak onto the floor. So, I think they're certainly going to pick up. They want to press and create a little bit of chaos. But they're also, they're a good half-court offensive team. So they're certainly not afraid to get into that type of a game either. I think it's one of those where, both teams have players that understand, at this moment, this is how we're going to play this. At this moment, it might be different. So it'll be interesting how the pace of the game goes because both teams can certainly put a lot of points, but they can both play defense.
Ultimately, what can cause separation between Alexandria and Totino-Grace here, kind of leading into a keys for Alexandria Cardinals' success tonight? What do you think has to happen?
I think for us offensively, they do provide really good pressure. I think the one thing that we've had success against them is off the ball screening. So we got to make sure that we commit to screening because they're gonna try to be tight on Mason and Gavin and probably Talon as well. And then probably the biggest key for us tonight is rebounding. I mean, that's why we were down 15 in the first half against Tartan. Totino can do the exact same thing, and if we don't box out, it could be the same result at halftime or for the game. So we got to make sure we commit to that. We're not as big as them, so we got to make sure that we're very sharp in our positioning and our just go get it attitude and make sure that we clean up the rebounds.
Very good. Forrest, I will look forward to reconnecting with you on Tuesday night before the start of the quarterfinal round in Class 4A Section 8. Thanks as always for the time and have a great game tonight.
Yeah, thanks a lot, D-Mac, as always.
There is the head coach of the Alexandria Cardinal boys basketball team, Forrest Witt. Our coach's comments featured during our pregame show, brought to you by Alamere Health. It's better here.
And again, we thank Juettner Motors in Alexandria for bringing you the pregame show on People Radio, KXRA Alexandria, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, and 105.7 FM. Audio through the Voice of Alexandria app. Thanks for watching our coverage tonight on the Voice of Alexandria streaming channel on YouTube. Right now, on our platforms, we will enjoy these words from our boosters of Alexandria Cardinal sports coverage.
Cardinals fans, did you know that Cenex Midtown Express has a gas pump designated to support Alexandria Public Schools? For each gallon purchased, 2 cents will be donated to the schools. Pump up your pride at Cenex, your local hometown choice in Alexandria and Garfield. Owned by the community, supporting the community.
I'm a nurse at heart. I went into this to take care of other people.
What we say as nurses and as teammates matters here.
Come on over, you'll love it. You will get to experience so many things and help many people.
Dentistry at the Center knows all about busy schedules, and that's one of the best things about having 3 dentists. We have more appointment times available, so we can see you sooner. So, for dentist appointments to fit your schedule better, come see the friendly folks at Dentistry at the Center.
Where you start today is not where you'll finish tomorrow. At Alexandria College, we know you have big plans for the future. Find your calling and be a legend.
Life can sometimes feel like you're navigating through construction. You hit a detour, run out of gas, or you're going the wrong way on a one-way street. But Lakeland Mental Health Center is here to help you get back to the right path. Visit lmhc.org. Help today for a better tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. I'm looking for experienced, hardworking people to join my company. When you work for us, you'll be home every night, no overnight hotels. Give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and we want to talk to you about your next career with us.
When you want your closing to go as smooth as possible, ask for Integrity Title.
We may be a bit obsessed about our jobs and the details that go into it, but that's what makes us such a good choice for your real estate closing. Ask for Integrity Title, the title closing geeks.
The Tradesman Construction has built a rich history as being the premier, most referred, full-service general contractor in the area. They are a proud supporter of all Alexandria Cardinal teams. Find them online at tradesmanconstruction.com.
Carlson Music Center, downtown Alexandria. Yamaha pianos and new and used equipment. Lessons and instruction. Learn from the best, piano and voice to guitar and violin. Carlson Music Center, for all your musical needs in Alexandria.
Hi, Carl Qualley with Qualley Real Estate. Our business approach is based on what we call the 4 E's: experience, expertise, ethics, and energy. Qualities that led us to be voted best real estate company 3 years in a row. Find your real estate coach at Qualley Real Estate, where we protect your money.
From Poland Court inside the Alexandria Area High School Gymnasium, Cardinal Boys Basketball is on the air as you enjoy on our platforms, including Leighton Media, KXRA Radio, and also through the Voice of Alexandria YouTube channel. Great crowd on hand to watch Totino-Grace in Alexandria. The Cardinals hosting the #1 ranked team in Class AAA. We will be having the presentation of our national anthem momentarily. The anthem on our platforms is being brought to you by Carlson Music Center in Alexandria. For any of your music needs, including the scheduling of voice lessons for your students in your family, you can go online to carlsonmusiccenter.com, carlsonmusiccenter.com. Again, the Star-Spangled Banner. Again, we thank Carlson Music Center in Alexandria for the presentation of our national anthem. Let's take an opportunity to introduce the starting lineups presented to you by Alamere Health. It's better here. First of all, for the visiting Totino-Grace Eagles, they will have in the backcourt 6'4" senior Tion Chapman. He'll be joined by 5'10" junior Shea Jackson and 6'4" senior D'Angelo Dungy. Up front, two very good forwards for the Eagles. Dothan Ijan Dimbola. I'll have to work on that, but Ijan Dimbola is the last name. Dothan is a 6'5" senior, and he is one forward, and then he'll be joined by a sophomore, also 6 feet 5 inches tall, Daniel Zoa. Nick Carroll is the head coach of the Totino-Grace Eagles, who ended up finishing undefeated in the Northwest Suburban Conference this year at 12-0. The Eagles' overall record is 21-2. Let's introduce the Alamere Health starting lineup for the Alexandria Cardinals. That will include 6' senior guard Mason Witt. It will also include 6' senior guard Talon Witt in the backcourt and 6'4" senior Gavin Roderick. Up front for the Alexandria Cardinals, you'll have Miles Gray at 6 feet 2 inches tall. He is also a senior, joined by Thomas Henricks, a 6'5" senior. So 5 seniors in the starting lineup for the Alexandria boys basketball team, with Mason Witt, Talon Witt, Gavin Roderick, along with Miles Gray and Thomas Henricks. Forrest Witt is the head coach of the Alexandria varsity boys basketball team. The Cardinals go into their regular season finale at 18-6 overall, winning the Central Lakes Conference outright with a league record of 15-1. Keys to tonight's game are being driven by Alexandria Motors. Together, let's drive with Alexandria Motors. Totino-Grace. The Eagles have a lot of assets in their quiver, if you will. They will rotate 10 players through, so the 5 that come off the bench are pretty solid as well. Coach Nick Carroll would like to see his team play with the competitive joy that they seem to have throughout much of this year. He's had some teams that have won state championships. He loves the chemistry of this year's Totino-Grace team. He says they bring out a balance of being very competitive, but they love being with one another. Defensively, he feels that trying to keep Mason Witt off the three-point line is going to be a key, and then try to get Gavin Roderick out of rhythm. Roderick is very capable of going off for 35 to 40 points in any given game. Meanwhile, for the Alexandria Cardinals, I think Forrest Witt mentioned it during the pregame interview earlier, commit to setting screens for the team out on the floor, and then obviously rebounding the basketball, whether it be defensive rebounding, offensive rebounding. His team needs to have a vengeance on the glass. When Alexandria fell behind by double figures in the first half against Tartan, and it was a situation that the Cardinals did not fare very well rebounding the basketball. So rebounding and then a good position on defense, some keys to the Alexandria Cardinals. Thanks to Alexandria Motors for presenting the keys to tonight's game. As you watch on our YouTube channel, Totino-Grace will be wearing the white jerseys, white shorts, navy blue numerals and trim. Alexandria wearing the home red jerseys with the white numerals, white lettering on the front of the Alexandria uniform, and the black trim. The ball is tossed in the air, and Totino-Grace will have the first possession of the game, as the Eagles will be flowing left to right from our vantage point here in this first half of play. And the ball comes out top. Now it goes over to the right side to Chapman. Chapman's going to get a skip pass now over to Shea Jackson. Then it comes down to Zoa, then back out. Now a loose ball stripped away, and Totino-Grace turns it over. Mason Witt gets it off to Thomas Hendricks. Now to Talon Witt. Talon with a nice little drop step into the lane, attacks the basket and scores.
Yeah, good start there for the Cardinals. You know, we're going to come out in our zone, our trapping defense here, and I know this gave them some trouble last year in the state tournament, and even a few years ago when, you know, we played them in the state tournament at the Target Center when Grayson, I think, was a sophomore. So, you know, that's something that they have to adjust to. We have to continue to be active hands, stay out of foul trouble. You know, they have, as Forrest said, they play 10 guys, and so we want to make sure that we can keep our guys on the floor and just rebound the basketball.
The Cardinals looking to trap along the sideline. Now the ball comes back out. Shea Jackson gets it into Ija Dimbola. Now back out. Chapman will shoot the three and score. Tion Chapman with the first basket for Totino-Grace tonight, and the Eagles take their first lead at 3-2.
You mentioned about scoring in the pregame interview with Forrest. I really think this is one of those nights where we do have to get to 80.
Now the drive to the basket. Miles Gray's shot is blocked, and now a transition basket. Ija Dimbola feeds it ahead to D'Angelo Dungy, and Dungy will lay it in, and he gets fouled as well. So Totino-Grace immediately taking off, going the other way, and it ends up being a transition basket. Foul gets called on the Cardinals' Thomas Hendricks. So one free throw here for Dungy to try to complete the hard way three-point play, and he does. So it is now a 6-2 lead for Totino-Grace. Alexandria with the basketball as Talon Witt brings it up the floor, hands it off to Mason Witt. Mason out left sideline, passes to Thomas Hendricks, now back to Talon Witt. Now to Gavin Roderick. Roderick out beyond the arc, handling the ball. Now he'll pass it over to Mason Witt. Gothan Ija Dimbola guarding Mason Witt on this particular possession. Now Roderick will look to take off, leans in, layup is good for Gavin Roderick. And it's 6-4 in favor of Totino-Grace. Now a loose ball, nearly turned over, taken here by Zoa, but then traveling is called, so the Eagles will turn it over for a second time.
Yeah, good hands there, active hands by the Cardinals, and again, I think offensively, we're going to try to. Gavin was able to beat his defender off the dribble. You heard Coach Witt talk about screening, just being committed to screening, and they're going to overplay Mason, obviously, try to get him off the three-point line, try to get Gavin uncomfortable. And so we just got to make sure we screen and switch and roll and take open shots when they're there.
Here's Talon Witt with the ball out beyond the arc, still controlling on the dribble. Down to 15 seconds on the shot clock. Gavin Roderick's three doesn't go. Tion Chetman with the defensive rebound for the Eagles. Up ahead, Dothan Ija-Dimbola, and then he stumbled and he lost the ball. Picked up by Alexandria, outlet ahead. Thomas Hendricks will lay the shot in. And we are tied at 6-all, so 4 in a row for Alexandria after Totino-Grace grabbed the 6-2 lead.
Yeah, getting physical down there, and Dothan, and that's just, he's got that last name that's hard to pronounce. I'll just call him Dothan. He's a physical player, big guy. You've never seen him in person, and so it's going to get physical, and he can shoot it.
Yep, he takes the three-pointer here, but that rims off. Rebound to Gavin Roderick. Cardinals can take the lead back. Now Roderick is going to get it to the right side to Talon Witt, curling into the lane. Layup is going to be short. Rebound to Shea Jackson. The Eagles coming the other way. There's the quick outlet, and the layup is good. D'Angelo Dungy will score on the layup, and Gavin Roderick went to the floor hard there, and I think he's going to be okay. But Dungy scores, and boy, Totino-Grace has 2 fast break baskets here, and I think when they've possessed on those fast breaks, they've had the ball about 3 seconds.
Yeah, we pride ourselves in being able to play fast and get out and go, and there's no doubt that that's their MO as well.
Here's Roderick handling the ball, getting it off to Mason Witt. Now he had it stripped away. Turnover on Alexandria. Outlet ahead, and Jackson on the front end. It's Dungy. D'Angelo Dungy scoring the basket. Yeah. And Totino-Grace takes a 10-6 lead.
Yeah, we don't want those open floor ball turnovers. It's one thing to turn it over, but we don't want to create a fast break for them.
Now Gavin Roderick will sink the three. As Quali Real Estate brings you the instant replays for our YouTube audience if you're watching tonight. Roderick with his first three-pointer of the night. He's got 5 points. Alexandria trails by 1. Here's Dungy with the ball, getting it off now to Shea Jackson in the lane. His shot doesn't go. Rebound to Alexandria. The Cardinals looking to push. Hendricks right side, shoots the three and buries it. Thomas Hendricks draining the triple, and Alexandria goes up by 2.
Yeah, big shot there, in rhythm. Sometimes that might be the best shot you get right away in the early shot clock, and good to see Tom take advantage of it there and knock it down.
Dungy handling the basketball. He'll get it over to Chetman. His three rims out, but the ball gets tapped out. It's going to be ruled off of Totino-Grace, so it'll be Alexandria basketball.
Nice job there of boxing out for the Cardinals. And again, it's just so important in this kind of game and this kind of environment that you just stay right there, continue to play hard. It's going to be played at an incredible pace, and you get your breaks when you can.
Jalen Hines comes into the game for Totino-Grace, and Blake Scholl makes his debut tonight for Alexandria. He looks to set a screen out high on Mason Witt. Now the pass goes over to Hendricks, then back to Mason Witt. A.J. Taban is also into the game for the Eagles for the first time. Nick Carroll will use a 10-player rotation. Here's a three by Talon Witt. That will be off. Dojan Ija-Dimbola with the defensive rebound. Now it's going to be into the lane where Ija-Dimbola will score his first basket of the night, and that ties the game up at 12.
Yeah, he's going to get downhill there, and did a good job of not fouling. He gets the ball that deep in the post. Going to be hard to stop.
Mason Witt tried the three. That doesn't go. Rebound to Totino-Grace. Now Dothan Ija-Dimbola is going to drive to the basket. He's going to put the shot off the window and in. He gets fouled as the basket, I believe, is going to count. And Miles Gray commits the Alexandria foul, so an and one opportunity here for Dothan Ija-Dimbola. So he now has 4 points tonight as the Eagles take the lead back at 14-12.
Yeah, they called that one on Miles, and again, as Gavin comes back in here for Tom, it's just going to be important. You think about, when we can get our defense set, when we can get makes, and how different the game is, and how different it is for them. We force them to play from a half-court set as opposed to getting out and running, and that's definitely, what they want to do. So it's important we see the ball go through the basket so that we can set our defense, and, that'll help us throughout the course of the game.
Alexandria with the ball, trailing by 3, and now a bounce pass is going to be intercepted. That'll be the second Cardinal turnover, and then a pass ahead by Taban, and he gets it to Isha Dimbola, who puts the shot in, and it's now 17-12. Totino-Grace. Gavin Roderick will knock down a three-pointer at the other end, and that will narrow the gap down to 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a night of shot making. And again, we just have to get back. So here we got to make now. Now we can play our defense, and we get a tap.
Yep, now Chapman is not going to be able to get the ball across the timeline. I think Totino-Grace is appealing that the ball did go into the front court, got tapped into the back court, but the officials did not see it that way. So a violation on the Eagles means Alexandria basketball.
Yeah, that's one of those where you'd love to have, I'm sure JP's got a shot of that. And it was close. I couldn't tell, but again, it was good. That's good defense. And again, I'll just say, we saw the ball go through the basket. We can set our half-court defense. We can set our, our zone, our trapping set, and there's such a difference in the game. We're going to have to, if we're going to stay in the game and win the game, that's going to be the key.
Keyshawn Roll will now enter the game for Totino-Grace, and D'Angelo Dungy is back in. Malachi Hill also in for the Eagles. Here's a long three by Mason Witt, and that does not go. Dungy with the defensive rebound. The Eagles are up by 2 with the ball. Here's Dungy with the ball right side. He'll get it down to the block to Taban. A.J. Taban getting it out now to Dungy. Ball fake there. Now Dungy, a little bit of a dribble then spin. Now it comes down to the right side. Malachi Hill's shot no good, but a good tap by Taban for a second shot opportunity. Now the kick into the corner, wide open for the 3, but Roll can't connect, and the rebound goes to Alexandria. Now Mason Witt gets it ahead to his cousin Talon Witt, sneaking up the baseline. The shot is altered. Battle for the rebound, and Totino-Grace is going to keep it. Roll with the outlet ahead, and the layup is good. That's at least the third fast break layup for Totino-Grace in the first 7+ minutes of the game.
Yeah, our transition defense obviously needs to be better, so to speak. We just need to get back. We need to get back, force them to have to play in the half court, not give up layups.
Here's a 3 by Talon Witt. That will be off the front rim, and then I believe loose ball foul is going to be called, and I think this may be A.J. Taban picking up the foul as he and Blake Scholl were battling for the rebound.
Yeah, and that's the first foul on Totino, and so it's one of those games where it just goes so fast back and forth. So as we see Tom come back in along with Grady Starzl here for the first time.
Yep, those two on the floor with Blake Scholl, Talon Witt, and Gavin Roderick. Lob in, Starzl has it, right side, out beyond the arc. He'll hand off to Gavin Roderick. Ball worked around to Hinrichs, now to Roderick for the 3. That will be off. Battle for the board, controlled by Taban. And here comes Totino-Grace at the other end. The layup is good. Malachi Hill will score, and Totino-Grace now leads 21-15. Hinrichs cannot connect on the three-pointer, and Totino-Grace again looking to run. Now we've got a shot that does not go, and a foul gets called on the Alexandria Cardinals. And the personal will be on Blake Scholl. That will be his first. And it was a foul in the act of shooting, so 2 free throws coming for Malachi Hill with 9:59 to go in the first half, and the visiting Eagles are up by 6. Free throw number 1 around and good. Totino-Grace 22, Alexandria 15.
So when you see Malachi Hill, he's a really good football player, really good tailback. He's one of the fastest kids we'll play all year, just in terms of his, elite speed from one point to another. And that's the thing that sticks out to me, maybe compared to last year's team that we played, is that they're fast, they're quick, and they're beating us back, which is unusual.
And we're going to have a short timeout called here. We're going to make it a 30-second break on our platforms. Just under 10 minutes to go first half. The numbers on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. Totino-Grace 23, Alexandria 15.
Hi, I'm Dr. Emma.
And I'm Dr. AJ. We're the dentists at the Alexandria Dental Clinic, where advanced care meets a family-first approach.
From cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign to restorative work and pediatric care.
Alexandria Dental Clinic, your smile's new best friend.
Getting in and out of the pharmacy is easy with Trum Drug's app, Rx Local. Download the app, choose Trum Drug as your pharmacy, use it for medication refills and reminders. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
Welcome back to Alexandria Area High School, along with our videographer J.P. Boline and my broadcast partner Russ Hinrichs. I am DMAC Dave McClurg. Totino-Grace will now extend the defensive pressure into the backcourt. Cardinals work it up the floor quickly. Gavin Roderick will look to attack. Leaning in, I think he drew a foul out of Jalen Hines of Totino-Grace. Don't know if Gavin's going to get free throws out of this or if it's going to be a sideline pass, and it looks like he's stepping to the line, so that was a foul in the act of shooting.
Yeah, that's good. That's nice, and I like that coming out of the timeout. Let's get to the basket, draw some contact.
And Gavin Roderick sinks the first free throw. Gavin comes into the game averaging 23.2 points per contest, second high on the team. Mason Witt averaging 24 a game for the Cardinals. Mason, by the way, back on the floor for Alexandria. 7-point Totino-Grace lead, and now it's down to 6 after Roderick makes the second free throw. 23-17 for the visiting Eagles. Here's Keyshawn Roll getting the ball off now to Malachi Hill. Then it goes a lob inside too high for Daniel Zoa, and it's going to be out of bounds, and that will be the Eagles' 5th turnover of the night. So the Cardinals get the ball back.
And then Gavin just fell there in the half court on defense, and you wonder, it's on the night when the gym is full, and it's warm in here even, in the end of February, and so sometimes there could be perspiration or water on the floor.
Tion Chapman will re-enter the game for Totino-Grace. Yeah, Russ, this might be the biggest crowd we've had for a basketball game all year, but hey, I think these two programs have combined for the last 4 state titles in Class AAA.
They have, absolutely.
Now we've got a bounce pass, and I think Zoa's going to come out, and he was trying to defend Grady Starzl, and I think a reach-in foul will be called on Zoa. That will be his first and the 3rd on the team.
Yeah, this is one of those times where, if you're a basketball fan, as you said, and you don't have to drive 2 hours to see one of the best programs over the last decade in Minnesota. And so, chance to watch 2 really good basketball teams.
Talon Witt gets the ball inside. Grady Starzl's shot got altered by Zoa, and he gets the rebound as well. Outlet ahead comes to Dungy, and then he passed through the lane. It's intercepted. The Cardinals have the ball back.
Yeah, good quick hands there by Miles.
Now Mason Witt with the ball, little spin move to the free throw line. He passes out to Roderick, now to Talon Witt, attacking. His shot altered and nearly saved there by Tion Chapman, but boy, Totino-Grace being very active in defending that basket.
Absolutely, and you got to see if we can get Mason going here. We got to find a way to get him a shot. He's just got to see one go in. They've really done a good job of limiting his contacts, and we're going to have to screen, and so we can get him open and get him going here.
Midway through the first half, and Alexandria trails by 6. Totino-Grace 21-2 on the year. Alexandria 18-6. Talon Witt with the ball out top. Now it goes to Mason Witt. Now to Gavin Roderick. One dribble, then he looks to pass off. Starzl has it. Ball fake, and he does not get the shot off. I think the shot clock ran out. That'll be Alexandria's 3rd turnover of the night. So.
It's too bad, DMAC. In a game like this, you certainly don't want to go through long stretches of time where you don't, especially a shot clock violation like that. So, again, but now at least we get to set our defense here.
Yep, Shea Jackson back into the game for the Eagles, works his way into the front court. Dothan Ijadimbola gets it off now to Tion Chapman, and his 3-pointer hard off the back rim, and then I believe it went off the standard up above, and that's going to mean possession back to Alexandria.
Yeah, nice job there. Again, they got an open look, but they got to knock him down, and good defensive possession there.
Totino-Grace 23, Alexandria 17. 8.5 minutes to go first half here at Alexandria Area High School. Talon Witt handling the ball now into the front court, stops at the 3-point line. He'll pass out to Mason Witt, who had the ball poked away by Shea Jackson into the backcourt. Mason tracks it down. He'll work his way into the lane, had his shot go off the back rim. Rebound to Shea Jackson for the Eagles. Now off to Ijadimbola, and he works his way through the lane and puts it up and in. Dothan Ijadimbola now with 9 points, and then a turnover and a race the other way. Shot does not go for Daniel Zoa. However, he got hooked on the way to the basket. So free throws will be coming for Totino-Grace.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a team like Totino, you can't, make those half-court or cross-court passes. They're going to jump them, and so again here now, that's going to be 2 on Miles.
So 2 free throws here for the sophomore Daniel Zoa, and he makes the first. Miles Gray will check out as Blake Scholl will re-enter. So with 7:51 to go in the half, Scholl may get major minutes here for the Alexandria Cardinals. Totino-Grace now with its biggest lead of the night. After both free throws made by Daniel Zoa, it's 27-17 for the Totino-Grace boys basketball team, ranked number 1 in Class AAA. Out top, Mason Witt gets the ball to Talon Witt, curling in. Now it goes to Scholl. Scholl up the baseline, goes to the reverse layup, and it's short. Tian Chapman with the rebound, outlet ahead, shot no good by Shea Jackson. I tell you, every time I look down at my sheet of paper to jot some notes down, Russ, that ball's coming out of the backcourt into the front court on the fly.
And that's how other teams feel when they play us. I mean, that's exactly what we do to them. You know, a lot of the teams that we play, we give them that exact pressure feel where we push the ball, and we're just not getting back on defense very effectively, and they're beating us down the floor, which is not something often you see, but it's something obviously we're going to have to clean up.
Shea Jackson goes to the line to shoot 2 after Mason Witt commits the first foul. Free throw is good. Alexandria now has 5 team fouls tonight, and Totino-Grace has shot free throws on each one of those fouls, so plenty of freebies for the Eagles before the bonus applies. Second free throw doesn't go, and Grady Starzl rebounds. It's an 11-point lead for TG at 28-17. Scoreboard updates tonight being brought to you by Glenwood State Bank. Cardinals working right to left in this first half of play. Here's Talon Witt working inside. He gets cut off. Pass out now to Gavin Roderick. Down to 15 seconds to go on the shot clock. Gavin Roderick will look to make a move. Now in deep, he'll pass to Mason Witt. Now it goes over to Starzl. Now down to 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Layup is going to be off and saved here by Zoa. Now an outlet ahead goes to Shea Jackson. Then up the left side, the layup is good by D'Angelo Dungy. Dungy now into double figures with 11, and the lead grows to a baker's dozen. Now we're going to have a reach-in foul being called on Totino-Grace. I think it may go on Tian Chapman here.
Yeah, you know, a couple of things. We got to finish near the basket, and we have to make sure that we're just not screening on offense at times. And so in those last couple possessions, it's just kind of five individual players moving around the floor and not screening and working to get each other open. So hopefully we can get that adjusted here. Again, it's a long basketball game. We just got to get a couple baskets here to go in and continue to battle.
Yep, so far tonight, Alexandria with 17. The team's leading scorer, Mason Witt, has yet to score. Now an inbound pass. Here's Blake Scholl attacking. That shot doesn't go, but he did get fouled in the act of shooting, so he'll be awarded free throws with 6:39 to go in the first half. A.J. Taban, who just checked back into the game, picks up his second foul.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you look at their team, and they've got a lot of guys that are just in that 6'4", 6'5", 6'3", multiple guys. And so, they come at you at waves, and unfortunately we missed the first one.
Yep, Blake Scholl will get one more to try to get his name into the scoring column. Taban's going to check out as Malachi Hill will re-enter, so it's Hill. Dothan Ijadimbola on the floor along with Jalen Hines, Shea Jackson, and player number 5 is Tian Chapman. Second free throw does go for Blake Scholl. 30-18, Totino-Grace in front. 6.5 minutes to go in the half. Loose ball nearly taken by Thomas Hinrichs. Now a pass across the lane is intercepted. 7th Eagles turnover. Now looking to attack Talon Witt. He'll get it off to Gavin Roderick. NBA range 3 doesn't go. Battle for the board, and it's taken by Totino-Grace. The leak out by Malachi Hill. He got fouled in the act of shooting. More free throws coming here for Totino-Grace.
And again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but we just have to get back. And we have to have that balance on the floor. It's all about a transition defense. Somebody has to get back. Somebody has to stay back. It's kind of like in defense. You've got to have a free safety there to keep them from being able to hit you over the top. And unfortunately, we just haven't been able to solve that yet.
These will be free throws 9 and 10 for Totino-Grace, with Alexandria possessing 6 first-half team fouls. Malachi Hill makes the first free throw, and Totino-Grace is up by 13. 31-18 for the visitors, who come in at 21 and 2. One more free throw coming for Malachi Hill, and that's good as well. So Grace now has its biggest lead of the night, up by 14. Alexandria again working right to left if you're watching on our YouTube channel here in this first half of play. Gavin Roderick gets it off, and there's a layup that's good for Miles Gray.
Yeah, good offense there by the Cardinals to get some rhythm going, get some screening going. Good, and then a defensive stop.
Yep, and then Dothan Ijadimbola missed on the three-pointer. It went hard off the back rim, then off the standard up above, and so Alexandria gets the basketball back. Keep in mind, down at Tartan High School in Oakdale on Saturday, Alexandria trailed by 15 at the half, came back to tie before the Titans went on to win by 6. Here's a three by Blake Scholl that's going to be short. Rebound to Hill, outlet ahead, and Tion Chapman will get the layup. And it's now a 34-20 Totino-Grace lead. Now a pass right side, Scholl has it, looking to drive, and a blocking foul is going to be called. The 50-50 play goes in favor of Alexandria. Malachi Hill, I believe, is going to be the one committing the foul. And this will be a two-shot opportunity here for Blake Scholl. Now Alexandria's gotten 3 opportunities at the line on the first 6 Totino-Grace fouls. I think I mentioned earlier, every time Alexandria has committed a foul on defense, Totino-Grace has gone to the line. Blake Scholl sinks the first free throw here, and it's a 13-point TG lead at 34-21. 5:26 to go, first half. Big audience on hand tonight at Alexandria Area High School. Thanks for checking us out on our platforms as well, including Leighton Media KXRA Radio, with the viewing opportunity on our YouTube channel. Scholl made the second free throw, so it's 34-22 for Totino-Grace. Here's Shea Jackson looking to attack, and the layup is good. And he gets fouled, and the basket will count, and yet another free throw for Totino-Grace.
Yeah, we just, having a hard time staying in front of them. And that time we just got beat to the basket. And now it's a three-point opportunity here for Jackson. And again, they are quick. They are quick to the basket. They are fast. They'll put pressure on you, make it very difficult.
I know you've seen the likes of De La Salle and Creighton-Durham Hall, and we had the opportunity to cover the home game with Maple Grove. How does Totino-Grace's overall team quickness match up against some of those opponents?
Yeah, absolutely. They're the fastest team in terms of transition. Certainly we played in, not just this year, but in a long time. Again, one of our calling cards has been get the ball out and go fast, quick, go. And, this is one of those times where we're actually having it done to us, and that's pretty rare and haven't seen that very much.
Now a long three by Mason Witt is good, and there's his first basket of the night. Hopefully the first of many to come.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And now we're going to have a stoppage here. I think a timeout's going to be called by Nick Carroll, the head coach of the Totino-Grace Eagles. We are going to make this a 30-second timeout on our platforms. 4:54 to go in the first half. The numbers on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard in boys basketball. Totino-Grace leads at Alexandria 37-25.
A successful win isn't about the score. It's about what you put into the game. If a successful win matters to you on the purchase or sale of your property, hard work matters to me. Todd Whiting, Century 21, 766-2200.
Enjoy life at the lake and work for a growing company that offers rewarding careers and cares about your well-being. Agard. We build cool machines and are hiring for multiple positions across the organization. Plus, no-cost health benefits for you and your family.
Thanks to all of the boosters of our Alexandria Cardinal sports coverage for bringing you our play-by-play tonight. Final regular season game of the winter season, and it's boys basketball with last year's Class AAA state champions, Alexandria, hosting the team that won the previous 3 Class AAA state titles, Totino-Grace. Right now, the visiting Eagles are up by 12. Here's Ijadimbola dishing over into the left corner, and the three is good. D'Angelo Dungy will sink the triple, and the lead is back to 15 for Grace at 40-25.
Yeah, he's a good player, and he's really had a good night. And Not sure where they got him from, but he's really a good player.
Yep, Mason Witt came up a little bit short on the three-pointer. Dothan Ijadimbola looking to attack after getting the rebound, and he will go to the basket and score. So now the lead grows to 17, and this is the biggest of the night for Totino-Grace at 42-25. Hill guarding Mason Witt. Now the pass goes over to Gavin Roderick. He is short on the three-pointer. It goes out of bounds and back to the Eagles.
Yeah, I think a couple times here we're just forcing them now. We're a little bit further out than we want to be. We're not quite in rhythm. You can just see that, you got to stay with the game here. You can't, get out of control. You can't try to force things. You just have to play within yourself, get a stop, get a good possession on offense, go from there.
Yep, still a lot of time to go. We're under 4 minutes to go in the half. Totino-Grace up by 17. Ijadimbola handling the ball out top. Now works his way into the lane, and he got bumped. And that's going to put him on the line for the bonus. See, it's going to be Gavin Roderick committing his second foul. Both he and Mason Witt, along with Miles Gray, each with 2 fouls. Dothan Ijadimbola at the line for 1 and the bonus. He has 11 points tonight. Free throw on the way is good, and he will be awarded the bonus. Totino-Grace 43, Alexandria 25. Those are the numbers on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. D-Mac and Russ Henricks, along with videographer J.P. Boleen, bringing you the play-by-play. One more free throw coming for Ijadimbola, and that rims off. Rebound to Talon Witt for Alexandria. Outlet ahead to Henricks, now to Talon Witt. Those two on the floor with Mason Witt, Miles Gray, and Blake Scholl. Here's Scholl handling the ball. Now he'll get it over to Henricks. Now to Gray. Gray looking to curl in. Now it goes to Mason Witt. One dribble, three-point shot doesn't go. Battle for the board. Scholl has it, and he lays it up and in.
Yeah, nice job there by Blake. Just being active under there. Again, that's a good start. Good possession. Let's see here. 3 minutes to go. A lot of time left. Let's see if we can shrink this down.
Into the corner, Dungy, and it gets it out now to the right side to Keyshawn Roll. Now it goes inside, and the layup is good for Daniel Zoa. Zoa scores, and the Eagles go back on top by 18. Now Scholl had his first shot blocked. Second shot is put up short. Ijadimbola with the rebound, and then a basket at the other end. And the score will be for D'Angelo Dungy. And now the lead is at 20 for the first time tonight. Keep in mind, in each of the last 3 road games that Totino-Grace has played, all in the Northwest Suburban Conference, the Eagles have scored north of 100 points. And right now they're on that track up by 20 at 47-27.
Yeah, and truly now it's, for the Cardinals here, it's just one possession at a time. And I feel like we're maybe offensively, we're trying to hit a shot that's worth 10 points, and that's not going to happen. So we just got to take it one possession at a time, and there's, Talon's going to get to the line here. And then again on defense, let's just get a stop, come down, have a good possession. There's no such thing as a 10-point shot. So,
yep, and Talon Witt goes 2 for 2 at the line as he makes them, and so it's 47-29 for Totino-Grace. 2.5 minutes to go first half here at Alexandria Area High School.
We're going to play a little man here. Excuse me, D-Mac.
Yeah, a little bit of a switch up here. Shea Jackson back in. He's got the ball. He'll pass it to Tion Chapman. Chapman over to the right side now to Dungy. Dungy working his way up the lane, and or I should say up the baseline to get the score back to a 20-point lead.
Yeah, you can't give up baseline there, unfortunately.
Now Talon Witt has his shot roll in. His second basket of the night to give him 6. Totino-Grace 49, Alexandria 31. Jackson getting the ball now to D'Angelo Dungy. Dungy, the leading scorer tonight, now has the ball stripped away. Cardinals have it. Talon Witt dropping it off. Miles Gray could not connect on the layup. Rebound to Grady Starzl back in, and his shot is swatted out of bounds. Alexandria will keep the basketball. Almost a microcosm of how the first half has gone offensively for Alexandria. A close-in shot doesn't go, and then Totino-Grace doing a great job on contesting the second shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just an incident where Miles feels rushed there. And, he's going to make that shot. 9 times out of 10.
Now Mason Witt has the ball stripped away. 5th Alexandria turnover. Dotano-Grace is going to be called for the offensive foul. And the Eagles will turn it back over to the Alexandria Cardinals.
Yeah, nice job there by Miles, standing in the way of a freight truck there. And nice job there to be in good position. And again, you know, it's an 18-point game, but I think if you go back and the coaches go back and you look at, we've missed a lot of bunnies, so to speak. We've missed a lot of shots inside, and so now Gavin's gonna come back in here for Mason.
Yep, Gavin Roderick onto the court right now. He is in double figures, leading Alexandria in scoring with 10. Mason Witt with just 1 basket here in the first half. Again, he comes in averaging 24 per game. Talon Witt with the ball. Now he'll attack to the rack. He lays it up and in.
And I said, ooh, because that looked like a full strength Talon there. Quickness, that first quick step, getting off, and that's a good start here. Let's see if we can finish this. And Mason, that was a good substitution there. He's got 2 fouls. We don't want him to pick up that third, a cheap one here going into the second half.
49-33 now the score for the Eagles. Here is Tion Chapman with the ball out beyond the arc. Spin move, little up and under. Shot too strong. Rebound to Grady Starzl. Ahead to Talon Witt, into the front court, now to Gavin Roderick. Down the lane, finger roll shot is good. That's now 6 in a row for Alexandria as the Cardinals creep to within 14 with under a minute remaining in the half.
Yeah, big possession here. Let's get a stop here. Get a stop in the bucket, and all of a sudden you go into that halftime, it doesn't look near as bad.
Hines will try the 3, that's no good, but then an offensive rebound for Chapman, and a pass now intercepted, I believe, and it will be out of bounds. Hinrichs and I believe Tion Chapman were battling for it right along the sideline, and the officials rule Alexandria ball.
Yeah, nice job there by Tom getting his hands on one, and unfortunately, again, we don't want to give up them second chance opportunities, but Tom doing a great job there, and there's 23 seconds left here. Let's get the last shot. Let's get the last possession here. Doesn't go, but when we can go into halftime just with this score here, I think we're going to feel okay.
Mason Witt, by the way, back into the game, kind of a situation substitution here. 10 seconds to go in the half. Talon Witt has it out high. Now he'll attack. Shot is up and in. That's 8 in a row for Alexandria. Ija Diambola, the 3-pointer before the buzzer, will not go. And so we reach halftime. Though Totino-Grace has led throughout much of the contest, the Cardinals close the half on an 8-0 run and now trail by just 12 with 18 minutes of regulation time ahead. At the break on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard in boys basketball, Totino-Grace leads at Alexandria 49-37. I know on our platforms we've got some making up to do with the spot allotments, so in about 3 minutes we will rejoin you from Alexandria Area High School for the Eldon's Fresh Foods mid-game report after this timeout.
First Western provides the best in customer service.
Professional, friendly, full-service banking is what you can count on at First Western.
First Western, you can bank on us.
From your first home to a growing family, life keeps moving. Hi, I'm Sarah Iverson with State Farm Insurance. Every change means something new to protect. Let's start a conversation today about your peace of mind, because like a good neighbor, Sarah Iverson will be there.
Juettner Motors, your best price dealer. Make your Juettner Motors your best price dealer.
There is a man, an insurance man, located in the birthplace of America, where he is committed to helping you find the best coverage for your needs.
Welcome. I'm Keith. When you think of insurance, think of Bill Marks, where we do the shopping for you.
I see generations who are passionate about what they did. I hope that I can leave a legacy of compassion for people and love for family and friends.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. Most of my crew has been here for decades.
The reason I've been here for so long is I love the variety and I love the different tasks throughout the day. A chance to operate many different pieces of equipment in any day.
Working here, I definitely like working with the crew. The guys are involved in training you and definitely help developing you as a person.
If I was looking for a place of employment, I would definitely apply here.
give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and I want to talk to you about your next career with us.
A broken tooth? Fixed in one appointment? Yes, we do that at Dental Health Associates with our CEREC crowns. We'll fix your tooth in one appointment, which means less time off work, less time away from your family, and more convenience for you. You're in and out in one visit.
Get great service at Alexandria Motors. Serving your family for generations and generations to come. Stop in for a great deal on your next vehicle. Alexandria Motors. One low price, plain and simple, always.
At ALP Utilities, we're proud to be a community-owned public power and water utility. That means local decisions, reliable service, and reinvesting in Alexandria. From classrooms to sidelines, we're proud to be a part of the moments that bring our community together.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles 6 times for a great deal at Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota. Fresh, family, locally loved. Eldon's Fresh Foods.
We appreciate you joining us this evening for Prep Boys basketball on our platforms, including Leighton Media, KXRA Alexandria, 1490 AM, 100.3 FM, 105.7 FM, audio through the Voice of Alexandria app. We appreciate you watching tonight's coverage on the Voice of Alexandria YouTube channel. Big thanks to Integrity Title of Alexandria for being our signature streaming sponsor of Alexandria Cardinals Sports Play-by-Play. At the half in this highly anticipated matchup, Totino-Grace, the number 1 ranked team in Class AAA, leads Alexandria 49-37. Russ, it was a first half where I thought in many ways Totino-Grace did a lot of what it wanted to do. If there is a silver lining, the Cardinals last minute and a half to 2 minutes of the first half, they started to get a little bit of momentum back.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a fun half of basketball. They play a fun style. I mean, Totino gets up and go. They're not one of those plodding teams that takes the clock or takes the shot clock down to 35 seconds and passes the ball 4 times. I mean, they're good. I mean, you asked me, we played a lot of good teams this year, from the Maple Groves to the Cretans to the De La Salles to the Tartans. I think they're the best team we've played. Just from their speed and their ability to transition and their defense. You brought up in the first half, they are right there. They are manned up, and they are face-to-face pressure, nose-to-nose defense. And so having said all that, when it was 20, that game could have very easily went to 30. But instead, the boys battled back, the kids battled, got it down to 12. And I think we're okay right now where we're at. We typically have been a better second-half team at times this year, and this is just such a great test for the Cardinals before we head to the playoffs.
Yep, Totino-Grace is led by as many as 20. Alexandria had a couple of early 2-point leads, but right now the Eagles are up by a dozen. Going inside the numbers in this first half with Totino-Grace leading 49-37. 2 of the Eagles starters are in double figures. D'Angelo Dungy, the senior guard, with 18, and Dothan Ijadimbola with 12 in the first half to lead Totino-Grace. 6 different Eagles players have scored. Alexandria has 2 players in double figures, one with the last name of Witt, but it is not Mason, but rather Talon. Talon Witt with 10, and Gavin Roderick is leading the team with 12 points. Alexandria has had 6 different players score so far. On the boards in the first half, TG with a slight edge, 18 rebounds compared to 15 for Alexandria. Fouls in the first half, each team with 8. Free throw shooting, edge to Totino-Grace, plus 4 at the line in terms of made free throws. Totino-Grace was 11 of 13, Alexandria 7 of 8. From 3-point range, the Eagles were 2 of 7 beyond the arc. Alexandria 4 out of 16. Turnovers in the half, 9 for the Eagles, 5 for Alexandria. Trends in the half, we had 3 lead changes, all in the first 5.5 to 6 minutes of the game. And we had ties at 6 and 12 points apiece. Alexandria's had a couple of 2-point leads. Totino-Grace has had as big as a 20-point lead. However, the Cardinals closed the half, scoring the last 8, and trail at the break 49-37. That is your mid-game report, presented to you on our late media platforms by Eldon's Fresh Foods. Live, love, local. Shop Eldon's Fresh Foods at 3rd and Nokomis in Alexandria. The second half of Alexandria Cardinal boys basketball follows these words from our boosters of Cardinal sports coverage.
Resorts Marine in Osakis. Check us out for new and used boats, pontoons, UTVs, and golf carts. For the whole outdoors, shop us first, shop us last, just shop us. Resorts Marine and Outdoors in Osakis.
When you come to Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill, you can count on great food, over 30 beers on tap, and a creative drink menu.
Come join us today at Fat Daddy's Bar and Grill in Alexandria.
Juettner Motors, your best price dealer. Make your Juettner Motors your best price dealer.
There is a man, an insurance man, located in the birthplace of America, where he is committed to helping you find the best coverage for your needs.
Welcome. I'm Keith. When you think of insurance, think of Bill Marks, where we do the shopping for you.
I see generations who are passionate about what they did. I hope that I can leave a legacy of compassion for people and love for family and friends.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. Most of my crew has been here for decades.
The reason I've been here for so long is I love the variety and I love the different tasks throughout the day. A chance to operate many different pieces of equipment in any day.
Working here, I definitely like working with the crew. The guys are involved in training you and definitely help developing you as a person.
If I was looking for a place of employment, I would definitely apply here.
Give me a call and visit my website because we're hiring and I want to talk to you about your next career with us.
A broken tooth? Fixed in one appointment? Yes, we do that at Dental Health Associates with our CEREC crowns. We'll fix your tooth in one appointment, which means less time off work, less time away from your family, and more convenience for you. You're in and out in one visit.
Get great service at Alexandria Motors. Serving your family for generations and generations to come. Stop in for a great deal on your next vehicle. Alexandria Motors. One low price, plain and simple, always.
At ALP Utilities, we're proud to be a community-owned public power and water utility. That means local decisions, reliable service, and reinvesting in Alexandria. From classrooms to sidelines, we're proud to be a part of the moments that bring our community.
Alexandria Cardinals trailing Totino-Grace by a score of 49-37. If both teams go with their original starters, Alexandria would have Mason Witt, Miles Gray, Talon Witt, Thomas Henricks, and Gavin Roderick on the floor. The Eagles from Totino-Grace High School would have Dothan Isha-Dimbola, Tion Chapman, along with Shea Jackson, D'Angelo Dungy, and Daniel Zoa. The Eagles 21-2 on the year. Totino-Grace started with 5 straight wins, then lost by 23 at Wayzata before Christmas. Suffered a home loss to Eastridge on the first Friday of the new year, and since then, Nick Carroll's team has ripped off 15 consecutive wins. Alexandria's record not as sterling, but Russ Henricks, the non-conference slate that Forrest Witt's team has played this year, that should have them battle-tested for what hopefully will be a good postseason run.
Absolutely. You know, that's what they wanted to prepare themselves for the end of the year. And we were talking at halftime, I tell you, as no matter how this turns out, if you're a coach with the Alexandria program, Forrest on down, just the pride and how many people have turned out tonight to watch this team play, pretty awesome.
Alexandria with the ball to start the second half, but a skip pass is going to go out of bounds. Gavin Roderick, I think, was waiting for somebody to move a little further out from the, that arc, and so the Cardinals turn it over. And now Alexandria will show a little bit of defensive pressure, but the Eagles bring it up the floor. Now a loose ball, scramble, and it will be taken here by the Eagles, but the layup is no good. Follow-up doesn't go, and then a rebound for Miles Gray. And Alexandria has the basketball. Now Gavin Roderick is going to have the basket taken away as I believe we're going to have an offensive foul being called, and that will be number 3 on Roderick tonight.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think we had a couple different opportunities on that offensive possession there, but again, it's a scramble here, and we got players on the bench there, and kind of the one things you don't want to do is throw it back toward your basket, which we did, but fortunately we were able to get the rebound, and Gavin's got to be real careful here now.
Yep, he does stay on the floor with 3 personal fouls. Here's Shea Jackson handling the ball out top. Now it goes over to Tion Chapman. Now off to Zoa. Now to Ijadimbola. Then back out, and we're going to have an offensive foul, and I believe both of Dothan Ijadimbola's fouls have been offensive fouls tonight.
Yeah, nice job by Tom. He anticipated that one real well, and again took it right down the throat there. As Dothan he's a physical specimen, but yeah, both of his fouls have been the charges. So good job by the Cardinals here. Good start here defensively the first minute.
Yep, now Alexandria will try to convert at the offensive end, and now Totino-Grace will run some extra pressure out. Here's Mason Witt from the free throw line. Shot doesn't go. Dothan Ijadimbola then turns it over, and Gavin Roderick is going to put the shot in. Ijadimbola turned it over right near his own basket, and Gavin Roderick was able to take advantage. Plus, he drew foul number 3 out of Dothan.
Yeah, that's huge, and they have a lot of good players, but he's their best. And he's got 3 fouls now, so we'll see what Coach Carroll decides to do here. Looks like he's going to stay with him on the floor.
Gavin Roderick at the line for 1 free throw, and he knocks it down, and this is now an 11-0 run, bridging halftime for Alexandria as the Cardinals get to within 9, trailing 49-40. Eagles with the ball. Left side or right side, D'Angelo Dungy gets it out now to Shea Jackson. Then it goes back to Dungy. Ball fake, sets up, shoots the 3, and it's going to be short. Rebound to Gavin Roderick. Now the Cardinals get it to Talon Witt. Now to Gray, to Mason Witt, then to Talon Witt. He'll attack, and he had it stolen. Taken by Tion Chapman. Lead pass ahead, too far, and Totino-Grace turns it back over.
Now they are going to substitute Dothan out, bring it back in Malachi Hill, and so they've just gotten faster. But again here now, the first 2 minutes here, 2 good possessions, and I thought we'd done a better job of getting back here on these first couple possessions.
And Alexandria again on an 11-0 run, trying to narrow the gap a little bit more. Talon Witt into the front court, gets behind the Gavin Roderick screen. Now Roderick will attack, and his layup is good. 13 in a row for Alexandria to draw to within 7. Now up the baseline, the layup is short on the attempt by Dungy. Rebound to Roderick. Up ahead, 3 for Witt is good! Mason Witt dials long distance and makes the call, connected. And it's 49-45 in favor of Totino-Grace.
And this place just erupted with that 3, and it's going to get loud in here, and we just got to play defense without fouling.
And unfortunately, we have a reach in here on Talon Witt. Now, the good news for that is Talon's not in any foul issues whatsoever. He just drew his first foul of the night with 2.5 minutes gone in the second half. Each team now with 2 personal fouls in this half.
And we're going to substitute Gavin out, give him a little breath here, and he plays with a lot of emotion, and sometimes that results in not the best decision making. So it's good to give him a little breath here.
Now the Eagles with the ball. Here's D'Angelo Dungy getting it off now to Shea Jackson. Then across, it's intercepted. Cardinals look to continue the run. Deep 3 is good. Mason Witt might be feeling it now. Back-to-back triples. And this is now a 19-0 run, prompting Totino-Grace head coach Nick Carroll to take a timeout. We're going to make it a full timeout, a 1-minute break on our platforms. 15-14 to go, second half, and we got a ball game. Glenwood State Bank scoreboard in boys basketball. Totino-Grace 49, Alexandria 48.
Why do I bank at First Western? Easy. They take care of their customers.
First Western. You can bank on us.
Better water starts with EcoWater. Get started today and discover EcoWater's products and expertise for the perfect solution. Visit WeFixWaterMN.com with offices in Alexandria, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Morris.
Being locally owned here at the Culvers of Alexandria, Charles Johnson and myself, John Loomis, are very proud to be a part of the community. We enjoy the time we get to spend here, the memories we've made, and we're excited to see you after the game when you need to refuel.
Go Cardinals!
Welcome back to Alexandria Area High School, where the Cardinals have made a big run to get back into the game, now down by just one. And as D'Angelo Dungy works his way up the right baseline, he gets fouled. He will go to the free throw line to shoot two and try to put a halt to this 19-0 surge for Alexandria, going back to the late stages of the first half.
And I'm going to call that one on Miles. That's his third. So, again, we'll see. We'll have to make sure we're decision making there for the coach or for the coaches, whether we'll leave him on there. And it's okay. Make him go to the line. Make him have to earn it here.
First free throw does not go. The second one is good. So that makes it a 50-48 Totino-Grace lead. Blake Scholl will check out as Grady Starzl re-enters. So you've got Gray, Starzl, Mason Witt, Talon Witt, and Thomas Hinrichs for Alexandria. Totino-Grace will show some pressure in the backcourt. Mason Witt will bring it up the floor, guarded by Malachi Hill. Now the pass goes to Miles Gray. Gray handing off to Mason Witt, curling into the lane, leans in. Fadeaway is up, bounces around, and it's good! And Alexandria has come all the way back from down 20 to tie this game at 50 all.
Yeah, and great job there. It's amazing what happens when you see one go in.
Now we've got drive. It goes, Malachi Hill gets it out. Now Chapman has it into the right corner. The three by Roll doesn't go. Rebound to Grady Starzl. Alexandria comes the other way down the lane. Talon Witt lays it in, and Alexandria has the lead for the first time since early on. The Cardinals are now in front 52-50.
Yeah, awesome. That's why you just keep battling. You never know, another turnover.
Yep, as Alexandria does a little bit of trapping, and now we've got a turnover the other way. Open lane, and it will be a flush for Tion Chapman, and that will tie the game up at 52 all.
Yeah, just a deep breath here. Talon just working down. Nice play there by Chapman. They're going to make some plays too. And, we're back here tied.
Now we're going to have a blocking foul being called, I believe, on Daniel Zoa, who is doing a little run and jump pressure on Mason Witt there. Zoa picked up the foul. That is his second and the team's third. Now we'll have a couple of substitutions. Nick Carroll is going to bring Dothan Ijadimbola back onto the floor. And also Jalen Hines in. Shot doesn't go for the Cardinals. Ijadimbola will get the defensive rebound. The Eagles can take the lead back with a basket here. Tied at 52, plenty of time to go. 13.5 minutes remaining in regulation. Here's Ijadimbola kicking it out. Jalen Hines with the three, and that is no good. Miles Gray with the defensive rebound for Alexandria. Now off Mason Witt, left side, knocks down another three-pointer. He only had one basket in the first half, and that was a triple, and he has now gone 3 for 3 from beyond the arc this half.
Yeah, he's feeling it now, and confidence is just beaming.
And now on the drive the other way, Malachi Hill attacking the basket, gets fouled by Mason Witt. And free throws will be coming for Hill, who has gotten to the line on 2 separate occasions. This will be his third free throw trip. Now it's going to be Miles Gray who picks up the foul, and that is going to be number 4 for him.
Oh boy, they called it on Miles and not Mason. I think they got to correct that. Miles I don't think was even close.
Yeah, and so far that's what the scoreboard is posting. So
that's interesting.
And Malachi Hill will shoot a pair for Totino-Grace. By the way, at the moment, Alexandria up by 3. This is the Cardinals' biggest advantage of the night. Again, Alexandria trailed by as many as 20 in the first half. Free throw number 1 for Hill is good. Thomas Hinrichs will check out. Blake Scholl in. It's Scholl, Grady Starzl, Mason Witt, Talon Witt, and Gavin Roderick. So those are the 5 on the court. Miles Gray back to the bench with the 4 fouls.
Yeah, I think Tom's got to regain his wits here about him. He took a shot there from Dothan, took the full force. They didn't call it down there, but 2 free throws for Hill here, and Cardinals still lead by a point.
Now Talon Witt will look to attack into the lane, and I think we're going to have a foul before the shot is taken. Cardinals are going to play the ball in, as I think Malachi Hill will draw the foul. That will be his second. Fouls in the second half now, 4 apiece. Ball will be played in by Talon Witt. Comes into Grady Starzl. Now he'll hand off to Gavin Roderick. Roderick out top, feeding now to Mason Witt. Mason Witt to Grady Starzl. Starzl leaning in, trapped underneath the basket. He's going to kick it out. Gavin Roderick has it. Down to 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Loose ball, Mason Witt in trouble. Now gets the ball off. Roderick will shoot the 3. It's off the back rim. Rebound to Malachi Hill. Now the Eagles will get it ahead, and Tion Chapman will lay it in to give the Eagles a 1-point lead.
And that was one of the first times we've kind of lost floor balance there, and they got an easy look.
And it's 56-55. Totino-Grace now looking to attack. The shot is good. Gavin Roderick dropping it off to Talon Witt as you watch it on the Quality Real Estate instant replay for our YouTube audience. Beautiful passing sequence there. Talon Witt with the finish, drawing foul number 2 out of Keyshawn Roll. Alexandria takes the lead back at 57-56.
Yeah, great job there by Talon. Great cut. You know, moving without the basketball is so important against a really good team and a really good defensive team. And you can see he's cutting and we're screening, and good entry pass there by, I can't remember if it was Gavin, I think, but
yeah,
nice job there. Yeah.
Yep, and Talon Witt makes the free throw there, so it's a 3-point play. Talon Witt now with 15 on the night, and Alexandria leads by 2. We are now 6 minutes into the second half. Dave McClurg, Russ Henricks bringing you boys basketball play-by-play. Here's a jump shot off the back rim, and Grady Starzl rebounds. Now at the other end, a 3 is good. Gavin Roderick will bury the triple for Alexandria. And the Cardinals go up 5, 61-56.
Yeah, we beat them at their own game there a little bit. Transition, Gavin was wide open, knocked it down.
Now the Eagles with the ball. Dothan Ijadimbola getting it out near the 3-point line, and a reach-in foul is going to be called. I think this will go on Grady Starzl. His first and team foul number 5 on Alexandria. Both of these teams are in prime position to shoot some free throws down the stretch. Already 5 fouls aside, and we've played 6.5 minutes of this second half. Pass comes in. Jackson gets it into Dothan Ijadimbola, and an offensive foul is going to be called. And I think that's going to be number 4 for Dothan Ijadimbola, and 3 of them have been charging fouls.
Yeah, and that one I think was the, that was, he was there. And, I know that's frustrating, but he's for the coaches, for Totino-Grace, but he just put his head down, and we did a good job there. I think that was Blake, and yeah, we've drawn 3 charges on him. He's got 4 fouls. They'll have to make a decision here. Looks like they're going to take him out with 11:23 to go, and that's another one of those game-changing type plays.
Yeah, so Dothan Ijadimbola, who had 12 points in the first half, he has not scored in the second half, and he's picked up 3 fouls this half to bring his total to 4. Here's Talon Witt into the front court. Now a little trapping pressure. Scholl gets it off. Now Roderick up the baseline, and I think we're going to have a stoppage. Did we have a foul called? I believe a moving screen on Alexandria. So that's going to be a foul on Grady Starzl and an Alexandria turnover.
Yeah, just ever so slight, and I can see where they're coming from. And of course, these officials, they heard it after that last foul on Dothan, so they're looking. But that was, again, I just think that was good basketball, moving the ball. Let's do it again.
And now working his way into the lane on the curl is D'Angelo Dungy, and he got fouled in the act of shooting, and he'll get free throws here with exactly 11 minutes to go in the second half. And now Gavin Roderick is in foul trouble as he has just picked up his 4th, so he'll have to go to the bench. 2 freebies here for Dungy, and the first one bounced off the rim, no good. D'Angelo Dungy so far tonight with 19. He has 1 on a free throw here in this second half. The Eagles were up 12 at halftime, but now trail by 5. Second free throw around and good for Dungy. Alexandria 61, Totino-Grace 57, and now Blake Scholl is favoring an ankle as he goes to the floor. So this is going to result with Britt Ludwig coming out from Heartland Orthopedic Specialists, and hopefully Blake is going to be okay. I don't know if it was a twist or maybe a cramp, but
yeah, I didn't see what happened. I put my head down again to look at our scoreboard, and yeah, I mean, if he's just got stepped on, if he just rolled it or something, but you know, this team they've just battled injuries and ankles and legs all year, and now we're in a situation where, you know, and Blake is not putting much weight on that there, so.
No, it looks like no weight on his left foot, so he's going to have to be helped over to the Alexandria bench. So not a good-looking situation for the Alexandria Cardinals with Blake Scholl being looked at. He'll go down to the end of the bench here, and that forces Forrest Witt to make some substitutions. He'll come out. It looks like we're going to have Ty Miller making his debut in tonight's varsity game, joined by Talon Witt, Mason Witt, Thomas Henricks, and Grady Starzl. Gavin Roderick has 4 fouls. Miles Gray has 4 fouls. And at the moment, Blake Scholl is injured. Now looking to attack here is Talon Witt. And I believe he got fouled in the act of shooting here. So free throws will be coming for the senior co-captain Talon Witt.
Yeah, that's going to be on Taban, I think. And
yep, A.J. Taban has
so
just picked
again,
up his third.
nice job there by Talon. This is, you know, one of those moments now where, I mean, we got Miles and Gavin on the bench with 4 fouls, and so those other 3 seniors out there, Talon, Mason, Tom, they've been in these situations many times, and now it's time just to lead and keep your team here on the right track, and Talon goes to the line.
First free throw bounces off the back rim and drops in. Talon Witt scores to make it 62-57. He's now up to 16 on the night. One more free throw coming here, and it is in and out. Rebound to Tion Chapman. 62-57 Alexandria. 10:45 to go, second half. Good basketball game. Nice crowd on hand tonight to enjoy it. We hope you're enjoying it on our platforms. Turnover on Totino-Grace leads to a drive to the basket for Mason Witt, and he scores.
Yeah, great job there by Tom. He was able to get a hand on it, and Mason just took it and ran.
And now we're going to have a blocking foul called, and this will put Malachi Hill on the line as the Eagles will shoot the bonus the rest of the night. That's 18 fouls on Alexandria. Thomas Henricks picks up foul number 2.
Yeah, and that was probably a good call. Unfortunately, you know, it's going to be hard for them to call another charge. But Tom did a great job there of stepping in, and he's going to have to earn it here. And this has been a physical game. Both of these teams are going to feel this one tomorrow.
Free throw is good for Malachi Hill. He has yet to miss from the line tonight, going 7 out of 7. That's where most of his points have come. He has come off the bench to net 9. The Eagles still down by 6 points at 64-58. Free throw is good. So back to a 5-point Alexandria lead at 64-59. Still plenty of time to go. This one is by no means over. A.J. Taban coming out to guard Mason Witt. Mason will attack. Bank shot is up and good. Boy, what a second half offensively Mason Witt has put together. He had just 3 at halftime, and now he's up to 18 to lead his team in scoring.
Yeah, Mason playing with an edge, playing like he's got something to prove, playing like he, you know, this is the kind of player he knows he can be. This is the kind of basketball player. He's worked very hard in his career, and it's great to see this second half here.
Now Totino-Grace working the clock a little bit, and we're going to have a foul called here, and I think this is going to be on Ty Miller of Alexandria. And again, a bonus opportunity for Totino-Grace. Let me correct, I misspoke earlier. Mason Witt has 18. second high on the team tonight. Gavin Roderick at the moment leads the team in scoring with 19. However, he's on the bench with 4 fouls.
Yeah, and it's going to be a free throw shooting contest here. Unfortunately, this is still a 1-and-1, but the next foul will be 2 shots.
Free throw is good for Tyan Chapman, and regardless of how this game comes to an end, Russ, Totino-Grace, their overall team quickness and their ability to attack the basket and draw fouls, they have done that well all night long.
Absolutely, and if the other team is quick and fast, that can result in foul trouble as he knocks them both down.
Yeah, so both of them good for Tyan Chapman. Alexandria 66, Totino-Grace 61. Again, Alexandria was down by 12 at the half, trailing by as many as 20 points in the first half. Here's Starzl up the baseline, goes to the reverse. It's altered, no good, tapped out of bounds, off to Totino-Grace. So Alexandria will keep the basketball. Shot clock resets to 20 seconds. Game clock shows 9:25 to go, second half.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of inbounds we're going to run here. We had a lot of success on Tuesday with some inbounds plays, but obviously this is a different team.
Talon Witt to trigger it in, and he gets it in. It's tipped and intercepted. Now an open lane. Layup by Shea Jackson. Missed at the other end. Follow-up is good for Tyan Chapman. So Totino-Grace was able to guard against Alexandria's inbound play. Now another turnover for the Cardinals. And we're going to have a foul called, complicating matters as the Eagles now are in the super bonus for more than 9 minutes of a kick ball. No foul there, just a kick ball. So still, Totino-Grace will have the ball, trailing 66-63. Now keep in mind, Dothan Ijadimbola is on the bench with 4 personal fouls himself. The Cardinals have 2 of their starters on the bench with 4 fouls. Totino-Grace usually rotates 10 players through, so the Eagles a little bit of a deeper team than Alexandria. Now bounce pass inside, shot rolls in for Daniel Zoa, and he gets fouled, and if he makes a free throw, this game will be tied. So a good look inside leading to the Daniel Zoa basket, and the foul will be called on the Cardinals' Ty Miller, and that will be his second.
Yeah, we'll see here. We still have 4 timeouts left. We'll see here if Coach Witt maybe try to get a little regroup here, depending on this free throw.
Zoa at the line for 1. It is off. Rebound to Grady Starzl, and then I believe he may have been. Oh, they're going to say a lane violation? So somebody in the lane too soon for Alexandria, giving another free throw opportunity for Zoa, and he cashes in. So it's almost like a turnover on Alexandria there to allow that second free throw. And it's tied at 66. 8:45 to go, second half. Here's Hendricks with the basketball out top. He'll hand off to Talon Witt. Into the lane, he'll attack and lay it up and in. And there's the timeout called by Forrest Witt. We're going to make it a 1-minute break of our own. 8:34 remains, second half. New numbers on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard in boys basketball. It's Alexandria 68, Totino-Grace 66.
I just get a great satisfaction when I hear the relief in a customer's voice that they've been helped. They always feel it's an inconvenience when they call us. It's like, it's never an inconvenience. We love helping our customers.
At Viking Bank, we're invested in your journey.
For over 30 years, Northland Buildings has been providing quality post-frame buildings to customers, serving clients across the upper Midwest since 1994. Northland Buildings. Quality buildings built tough for the Northland.
Northland Buildings.
Who do you turn to if you or a loved one is experiencing a mental health crisis? We're here. Region 4 South Mobile Crisis Team will come to you by calling 701-364-0431.
If you haven't experienced all new Woodies, you're missing out on the best clean in town.
We installed all new equipment and high suction vacuum service,
but kept our personalized touch with our pre-wash and hand drying service.
Get your shine on
at Woody's Car Wash in the heart of downtown Alexandria.
Alexandria and Totino-Grace have combined to win the last 4 Class AAA state titles. TG in 2022, 23, and 24. Alexandria in 2025. And the teams are putting on a show tonight. Alexandria up by 2. Totino-Grace with the basketball. Here is Tion Chapman getting the ball over. Now it comes to the right side for Shea Jackson. Jackson looking to drive. Mason Witt cuts him off. Now it goes out to D'Angelo Dungy. Down to under 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. The Cardinals showing some zone here. Here is Tion Chapman getting it off to Jackson. 3-point shot, no good. Big rebound by Grady Starzel. And Alexandria has the ball. 3 by Mason Witt is good at the other end. Quality Real Estate bringing you the instant replay for our YouTube audience. And Mason Witt is now 4 for 4 beyond the arc this half.
Yeah, great defensive possession, and then a great job by Tom just to find Mason, who continues to be just on fire. So much fun to watch to see him play like this.
Now here's Jackson on the drive, dropping it off, and Zoa on the left block will put the shot in, drawing the Eagles to within 3 points. 71-68 Alexandria. Oh, inside, wide open is Grady Starzel spinning away from his defender. Talon Witt saw that, and Witt gets the dime on the Starzel basket.
Yeah, the coaches have been kind of setting that up with that high ball screen, been asking our screeners to slip, and that time he slipped and he was wide open.
So Alexandria's up by 5, 73-68. We go under 7 minutes remaining. Tion Chapman, right side, his 3 rattles out. Ball volleyed up. Zoa trying to save it, and I believe he did. Oh, they're going to roll off of Zoa, and it's going to be Alexandria basketball. So the 50-50 ball going Alexandria's way. I think Nick Carroll is going to try to plead his case here, but to no avail.
Yeah, it's been a night. Just, it's an intense game, and the players are fast, and there's a lot of close calls when that happens. So big situation here. They came back with Dothan, so he's going to play with 4 fouls. He's their player. I would imagine offensively it's going to go through him. And so again, another opportunity here for the Cardinals to extend this lead.
Talon Witt handling the ball out top. Now he's got a second defender at him. Pass goes off, and we're going to have a blocking foul. And now Alexandria's into the bonus here, as Talon Witt will go to the line for a 1-and-1. This foul will be on Tion Chapman, and that will be his second. Foul issues, Dothan Ijadimbola has 4 fouls for Totino-Grace. A.J. Taban with 3. 2 players for Alexandria with 4 fouls each, Gavin Roderick and Miles Gray. Neither one is on the floor at the moment. A 1-and-1 for Talon Witt, and he sinks the first free throw. If he can make the second free throw, the Cardinals would equal their biggest advantage of the night. If you haven't been with us throughout the night, keep in mind that Alexandria was down 20 in the first half. And now the Cardinals lead by 7 at 75-68 after Talon Witt makes the second free throw. Here's a pass up the floor. Tion Chapman will get it off to D'Angelo Dungy, and I think we're going to have a foul called. This will be on Grady Starzel, and he now has 3 personal fouls.
And an interesting decision here for the Cardinals coaching staff. How long will they keep Gavin and Miles on the bench, both of them with 4 fouls? I think as long as the lead can stay why it is, you're just trying to steal time here. You're trying to steal an opportunity before you have to bring one of those guys back.
First free throw for Dungy is good. D'Angelo is now 4 of 6 from the line tonight. He's up to 21 points. Alexandria 75, Totino-Grace 69. 6:28 to go, second half. Second free throw is good. The Eagles have made a living on the line tonight. 75-70, Alexandria's lead is 5, and now we're going to have a carrying of the basketball called on Alexandria, and that's going to turn the ball back over to the Eagles.
And that's not something you see often. I don't think anybody was calling for it. It felt like kind of I don't know. You don't see that too often. That's just a regular dribble there, I thought, by Talon. But 5-point game here.
Ijadimbola will get it off now to D'Angelo Dungy, and he slices up the right baseline, scores his first basket of the second half. His previous points this half had come from the line. So now the Eagles back to within 1 possession, trailing by 3, 75-72. Underneath, Grady Starzel will score. Again, Alexandria with some action out front to allow Grady Starzel to get wide open underneath.
Yeah, just again, a great job of slipping that screen. And there's your answer. You got Miles and Gavin ready to check in at the scorer's table. And Cardinals lead here by 5 as we're under 6 minutes.
Shea Jackson with the ball out top for Totino-Grace. Now it comes to Tion Chapman. He'll lob it inside for Zoa. Zoa banks the shot in along the right block. Daniel Zoa now into double figures with 11. And it's 77-74 Cardinals. 5.5 minutes to go, second half. Now here's Talon Witt looking to drive. Zoa cuts him off. Pass to Ty Miller. Now to Talon Witt, down to Starzl. Starzl backing in. Then it comes back to Talon Witt, backing up, straight on 3, rattles out and in! It rattles in for Talon Witt. Quality Real Estate bringing you the instant replay for our YouTube audience. And that is a three-pointer for Talon Witt to put Alexandria up by 6. Now it comes into the front court. Here's Tion Chapman driving, feeding underneath. Daniel Zoa with the layup, and he's fouled. The basket counts, and it's going to be an N1 opportunity for Daniel Zoa.
Yeah, that's a lot to ask. I think it's hard. You know, we got Ty trying to do his best there. He's down inside, and so now we're going to have Gavin and Miles come back in here, and both of them with 4 fouls. Cardinals leading by 4, under 5 minutes to go.
Good minutes off the bench there for both Ty Miller and Grady Starzl. Zoa at the line for 1 with 4:56 to go. Free throw is good. And that adds to Daniel Zoa's total. He is now up to 14. Now in the front court, we're going to have a foul on D'Angelo Dungy. And I think Talon Witt is fouled, so he'll have another 1-and-1. I'm going to go back to the last basket that Talon made, that rattled in 3. Want to make that our Culver's play of the game?
Absolutely. He's had a really good second half, and as has Mason, of course, but I think that's a good call. Culver's play of the game there. Good to see that one go down for Talon.
Now he gets a 1 and the bonus here. Free throw is good, so Talon Witt will get a second free throw on this trip. 4:50 to go in regulation, and the Cardinals go up 4, 81-77. Our scoreboard updates tonight being brought to you by Glenwood State Bank. One more free throw for Talon Witt, who's got 24 on the night. Puts this one short off the front rim. Daniel Zoa with the defensive rebound. Off now to Dothan Ijandimbola. Now off to Dungy, to Ijandimbola. Further out now to Shea Jackson. Then to the right side to Chapman. Inside to Dothan Ijandimbola. And an offensive foul is going to be called. I think he threw the elbow there, and the officials may have caught it, and that's going to foul Dothan Ijandimbola out of the game.
They called him for hooking, and you know he did kind of hook Miles there, and yeah, that's going to be all. And they're going to fall. He's going to fall out of this game, and he's going to leave. I don't think he scored in the second half.
That is correct.
Yeah.
He had 12 at halftime, and he ends up with 12 due to picking up 4 second half fouls, including 3 on the offensive end. So he is gone for the night as the Eagles bring Malachi Hill back in. So a smaller lineup, but a quick lineup for Totino-Grace. Here's Talon Witt getting the ball off to Mason Witt, right side. He knocks down another three-pointer. And Alexandria grows the lead to 7 with 4:12 to go. 84-77. The 3 at the other end is good for Shea Jackson. And then Nick Carroll, the head coach of the Eagles, wants a timeout to talk it over. We're going to make this a 30-second break of our own. 4:07 remains in the second half. New numbers on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard in boys basketball. It's Alexandria 84, Totino-Grace 80.
Who do you turn to if you or a loved one is experiencing a mental health crisis? We're here. Region 4 South Mobile Crisis Team will come to you by calling 701-364-0431.
If you haven't experienced all new Woodies, you're missing out on the best clean in town.
We installed all new equipment and high suction vacuum service,
but kept our personalized touch with our pre-wash and hand drying service.
Get your shine on
at Woody's Car Wash in the heart of downtown Alexandria.
Welcome back to Polo Court inside the Alexandria Area High School Gymnasium. What an atmosphere tonight. Big crowd on hand to watch the number 1 ranked team in Class AAA, Totino-Grace, face last year's Class AAA state champion, Alexandria Cardinals. Alexandria was able to make the state championship game after beating Totino-Grace in the state semifinals at Williams Arena last year. That snapped the Eagles' 10-game state tournament win streak and prevented TG from winning a 4th straight state title in boys basketball. Alexandria is up by 4 as play resumes. Gavin Roderick handling the basketball, curling in against Daniel Zoa. Nice move, but the shot goes off to the side. Dungy with the rebound, outlet ahead now to Shea Jackson. Then to the right side, the three-pointer by Malachi Hill doesn't go. Rebound to Alexandria, and it comes ahead, and now Roderick had it taken away. Turnover on Alexandria, then a foul is going to be called on Talon Witt, and 2 free throws will be coming. And again, Russ, it's kind of that frenetic style of play there that, Totino-Grace looking to get out and run.
It was 84-80. They moved it 84-79. Is that correct?
I
don't know.
I thought the last made basket was a 3, which would have made it 84-80, but maybe the officials ruled that last triple by Shea Jackson as a 2. I'm trying to confirm on my numbers here.
It would have been, if it was a 3, it would have been 80, but did they change it to a 2, or what are they?
I'm seeing Shea Jackson's individual point total at 7, which matches up with my numbers on the sheet.
Yeah, there they go.
I believe it should be 84-80, and now that correction has been made. So I would like to see Alexandria get as many points as they can and not necessarily take them away from the opposition, but I think the correct score is on the board right now.
Yeah, correct.
So 2 free throws here for Totino-Grace. First one is good for Tion Chapman.
And you say they've lived at the line. They truly have lived at the line. It's been one of those nights where, it's just been we've been playing good, hard defense, and they've been drawing some contact and getting to the line, and there's 2 more free throws. So we just got to execute on offense here. We want to get a shot up. Don't turn the ball over. They're going to extend their defense. They're going to be physical. We probably got to play through contact. We're going to run some flex action here, which we've been running since these guys were in 3rd grade.
Yep, Talon Witt with the ball left side. Now he is going to get it over, and it's intercepted by Shea Jackson. 2-on-1. Jackson attacks the basket. Shot is off the rim, and then offensive goaltending is going to be called on Totino-Grace. That nullifies the Eagles from tying the game up.
Now we've had just about everything else tonight, and so now we've had a goaltending. And so again here now we've had a couple of empty possessions here, whether that's been a turnover or something. So we're going to want to try to see if we can get something going here, see what we run, maybe our little high ball action. We'll see. Here comes Tom to screen.
Yeah, as he now gets the handoff from Talon Witt. Then it comes back to Talon Witt as we go under 3 minutes remaining in the second half. Gavin Roderick will attack up the baseline. Finger roll shot doesn't go, but he got fouled on the arm by Tion Chapman. And that should mean 2 at the line for the 6'4" senior guard, Gavin Roderick.
Yeah, and that puts both teams now in the double bonus. So we'll see here. Big free throws down the stretch.
Gavin's first of 2 is good. Gavin Roderick now up to 21 points tonight. Mason Witt with 24. Talon Witt with 24. Alexandria with 85 as a team. Second free throw is good. Back to a 2-possession lead at 86-82. Now can the Cardinals get some defensive stops at the other end? Alexandria showing a little bit of zone press as Shea Jackson brings it into the front court. Gets it to Malachi Hill. Now to the right side to D'Angelo Dungy. Then back to Hill. Then to Dungy. Looking inside to Zoa, nothing there. Then it goes to Hill. His 3 is off the heel of the rim, and Mason Witt with the defensive rebound. Now Mason Witt will shoot the 3. That's his first miss of the second half, and then I think we're going to have a tie-up, but the arrow does favor Totino-Grace, so the Eagles will get the basketball here.
Yeah, it's hard to, hard to question. I mean, Mason has hit everything tonight, and you're right, that is, I think, the first miss in the second half. Jump ball, that's okay. So now the next time we see that ball on the ground, we get on the floor and we we get that alternate possession. Oh, there's another turnover. Good.
Yep. Ball got batted around, and Miles Gray picks it up. He's going to get it to Talon Witt, who will bring it into the front court. Talon looking to attack. Now the bounce pass back out to Roderick, then to Talon Witt for three, and it's good. Talon Witt with the triple, and we go under 2 minutes remaining, and Alexandria leads by 7. Now here's Dungy attacking the basket. He lays it in. 89-84 Alexandria. Then the pass up the floor intercepted. Chapman then throws it away as Thomas Hendricks intercepts. 17 turnovers for Grace, 15 for Alexandria. Hendricks gets it off to Mason Witt. Jumper is going to be short. Rebound to D'Angelo Dungy. Down to about 80 seconds remaining. Attacking is Malachi Hill, and he'll score. Then a timeout is going to be called by Nick Carroll, the head coach of the Eagles. I believe that will leave Totino-Grace with 1 remaining. We're going to take our final break during play-by-play. A minute 19 to go, second half. Exciting game in Alexandria. Glenwood State Bank scoreboard has Alexandria leading Totino-Grace 89-86.
Hi, Carl Qualley with Qualley Real Estate. Our business approach is based on what we call the 4 E's: experience, expertise, ethics, and energy. Qualities that led us to be voted best real estate company 3 years in a row. Find your real estate coach at Qualley Real Estate, where we protect your money.
Hi, I'm Dr. Emma.
And I'm Dr. AJ. We're the dentists at the Alexandria Dental Clinic, where advanced care meets a family-first approach.
From cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign to restorative work and pediatric care.
Alexandria Dental Clinic, your smile's new best friend.
Trum Drug has things in every aisle that you won't find anywhere else, and many of them are made right here in Minnesota. Stop in and grab something for yourself, a friend, or family. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
Big thanks to Integrity Title of Alexandria for being our signature streaming sponsor of Alexandria Cardinal Sports Play-by-Play. 1:19 to go in regulation time, and we've got a 1-possession margin in favor of Alexandria. After the Cardinals trailed by 12 at the half, Alexandria was down by as many as 20 in the first half, but now the Cardinals lead 89-86. Mason Witt, Talon Witt on the floor along with Thomas Hendricks. You've got Gavin Roderick on the floor and Miles Gray. That's the original starting 5. Now it's up to the Cardinals to take care of the basketball and hopefully get some points on the possession. Malachi Hill guarding Talon Witt. It goes to Gray, then to Talon Witt, sneaking up the left baseline. He's cut off by Daniel Zoa. Talon will bring it back out with 20 on the shot clock. We're about to go under a minute remaining. Now Miles Gray gets the ball at Talon Witt, and it's off his foot out of bounds. Turnover on Alexandria. And the Eagles are going to get it back down by 3 points.
Yeah, and okay here now, so under a minute to go. Totino has 1 timeout left. Again, we're just going to have to play good defense and set it at the beginning of the game. Coach Witt talked about it. Rebound the basketball. Rebound that miss.
Yep.
Get that miss and rebound it.
Here is Malachi Hill into the lane. His teardrop is off to the side. Loose ball, and Miles Gray has it for Alexandria. Outlet ahead. Here's Mason Witt. He'll curl out. Let's see if he draws contact. Nope. Pass goes to Gavin Roderick. Half a minute to go, and now the foul is going to be called. And Gavin Roderick will go to the line to shoot 2. Let's see who's going to get the personal foul here. It's going to be on Shea Jackson. That will be his first. Totino-Grace has won 16 consecutive games. Going back to January 2nd, that streak may be in jeopardy. Gavin Roderick at the line for 2. First one rattles out, no good. Alexandria still with a 1-possession lead at 89-86.
This is the big one here. Makes it a 2-possession game. Might change what they decide to do. So Gavin, just take a deep breath here and knock this one down. Make the next one.
Alexandria 8 of 11 from the line this half. Second free throw is good for Roderick. And the Cardinals lead 90-86. And now Forrest Witt, the head coach of the Alexandria Cardinals, will take a timeout. We're going to keep it right here with 30.5 seconds remaining. Again, this has been a whale of a ball game in front of a big audience here at Alexandria Area High School's Pollard Court. I thought ahead of time, Russ, that any of the fans that would come to this game would get their money's worth, and they have not been cheated tonight.
Absolutely, and I said it earlier tonight, just if you're an Alexandria Cardinal basketball fan, if you've been a part of the program in whatever role, you just got to beam tonight with a big smile to see all the people here that have come out to support this program and support this team. And it's been an incredible run over these last, 4 or 5 years for sure, and culminating obviously with that state championship last year. And what a great night for basketball in Alexandria. Set the stage here. There's about 30 seconds, 30.5. Totino has the ball. They have the one timeout. Cardinals with 2. So I would guess they'll try to get a quick 2 and maybe play the foul game. Again, it'll be so important, to limit their opportunities. If they miss, all 5 rebound, and then it's going to be about us knocking down our free throws.
Yeah, if we do have a tie-up, Alexandria gets the basketball. Again, both teams in the super bonus, so 2 free throws would be shot on any common foul. Keep in mind, Dothan Ijadimbola has fouled out of the game. He left with 4:33 to go after picking up his 5th foul. Malachi Hill gets the ball over to Shea Jackson, then across. Zoa underneath will lay it in, and a timeout there for Nick Carroll and the Totino-Grace Eagles. So that took about 7 seconds off the clock. But Totino-Grace does get the basket to draw to within 2, now trailing 90-88. So I asked both Nick Carroll and Russ Hinrichs ahead of time what they thought, because both of these teams can execute on offense so much. I thought, is this game going to be played up in the triple figures? Well, I don't think we'll get to triple figures unless we have overtime, but but yet it's been a pace of a game that it's been high scoring, it's been entertaining, but again, I think it comes down to, can Alexandria take care of the ball, make some freebies, and maybe get one more defensive stop, hopefully in that particular order.
Absolutely, and it is the most important thing they can do right now is inbounds the ball. I mean, I'm sure they're running up a play right now. You got to inbounds the ball. They're going to foul, no doubt about that. That's their last timeout. So if they get another possession, I should say, and the ball goes through, we're going to take our time to inbounds it, because the clock keeps running in high school basketball. And in this situation now, it's all about the little things, the things you've been practicing since you were young, and it comes down to that tonight.
Most of the fans in the gymnasium up on their feet, even the radio guys that are covering tonight for Leighton Media, KXRA Radio, and our Voice of Alexandria YouTube channel. We're standing as well, and we're in the back of the gymnasium. Talon Witt to inbound against full court pressure, and Mason Witt stumbled, and he goes out of bounds. So the Cardinals turn it over with 22.1 seconds to go.
Yeah, and that's, again, inbouncing it is the most important part there. So now it's a matter of playing defense here. Defense without fouling. We still have 2 timeouts. Rebound the ball.
Malachi Hill with the ball out beyond the arc, drives, feeds inside to Zoa. Bank shot ties the game. 90-90 on the Glenwood State Bank scoreboard. Alexandria with the ball, down to the last 7 seconds. Now it goes into the backcourt, and it's going to be a violation. The Cardinals turn it over again, and Totino-Grace now has 4.7 seconds to try to win the game with a buzzer beater.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there, and I think Miles had an opportunity maybe to go to the basket and kind of chose not to there. So now we just got to play defense without fouling. We got to make sure, we got to make it difficult on them. We're not going to call timeout because they'll have time to draw something up, but we just got to play defense here. Be careful of the lob.
Pass comes in, Jackson drives, feeds to Zoa, who scores! Daniel Zoa, the sophomore, is going to score with time running out, and the Totino-Grace Eagles storm the court, stealing one at Alexandria Area High School tonight. Oh my, the Alexandria Cardinals gave the Eagles all they could handle, but Totino-Grace is able to get some defensive stops at the end. The Cardinals twice in the last minute turn the ball over. Totino-Grace counters, and Daniel Zoa gets the game winner at the end, and the Eagles prevail by 2 and will go into the playoffs with a 17-game win streak. Oh, talk about pulling one out of the fire tonight. The Eagles trailed by as many as 7 in the second half after building a 20-point first half lead, but it's Totino-Grace making the key plays at the end, including a layup by Daniel Zoa. That proves to be the game winner as Totino-Grace prevails at Alexandria Area High School by a final score of 92-90. That's going to do it for our play-by-play. We do invite you to stick around. We're going to take a break. We'll enjoy some messages from our boosters of Cardinal sports coverage, and then we return to Alexandria Area High School to start up our Juettner Motors postgame show after this timeout.
Cardinals fans, did you know that Cenex Midtown Express has a gas pump designated to support Alexandria Public Schools? For each gallon purchased, 2 cents will be donated to the schools. Pump up your pride at Cenex, your local hometown choice in Alexandria and Garfield. Owned by the community, supporting the community.
I'm a nurse at heart. I went into this to take care of other people.
What we say as nurses and as teammates matters here.
Come on over, you'll love it. You will get to experience so many things and help many people.
Dentistry at the Center knows all about busy schedules, and that's one of the best things about having 3 dentists. We have more appointment times available, so we can see you sooner. So, for dentist appointments to fit your schedule better, come see the friendly folks at Dentistry at the Center.
Where you start today is not where you'll finish tomorrow. At Alexandria College, we know you have big plans for the future. Find your calling and be a legend.
Life can sometimes feel like you're navigating through construction. You hit a detour, run out of gas, or you're going the wrong way on a one-way street. But Lakeland Mental Health Center is here to help you get back to the right path. Visit lmhc.org. Help today for a better tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. I'm looking for experienced, hardworking people to join my company. When you work for us, you'll be home every night, no overnight hotels. Give me a call and visit my website, because we're hiring and we want to talk to you about your next career with us.
When you want your closing to go as smooth as possible, ask for Integrity Title. We may be a bit obsessed about our jobs and the details that go into it, but that's what makes us such a good choice for your real estate closing. Ask for Integrity Title, the title closing geeks.
The Tradesman Construction has built a rich history as being the premier, most referred, full-service general contractor in the area. They are a proud supporter of all Alexandria Cardinal teams. Find them online at tradesmanconstruction.com.
Carlson Music Center, downtown Alexandria. Yamaha pianos and new unused equipment. Lessons and instruction. Learn from the best, piano and voice to guitar and violin. Carlson Music Center, for all your musical needs in Alexandria.
Hi, Carl Qualley with Qualley Real Estate. Our business approach is based on what we call the 4 E's: experience, expertise, ethics, and energy. Qualities that led us to be voted best real estate company 3 years in a row. Find your real estate coach at Qualley Real Estate, where we protect your money.
Hi, I'm Dr. Emma.
And I'm Dr. AJ. We're the dentists at the Alexandria Dental Clinic, where advanced care meets a family-first approach.
From cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign to restorative work and pediatric care.
Alexandria Dental Clinic, your smile's new best friend.
Getting in and out of the pharmacy is easy with Trum Drug's app, RX Local. Download the app, choose Trum Drug as your pharmacy, use it for medication refills and reminders. Trum Drug, locally owned, locally loved.
Welcome you back to Alexandria Area High School with our Juettner Motors postgame report. An exciting game in front of a big audience here tonight. Alexandria had the lead late, but Totino-Grace comes back, getting a couple of turnovers in the closing moments, and ultimately Totino-Grace gets a Daniel Zoa basket at the end to win by 2. The final score tonight, 92-90. Along with Russ Hendricks and our videographer, JP Bolina, I am DMAC Dave McClurg, and we're going to get together and visit with our Quality Toyota Cardinal Athlete player of tonight's game, that being senior guard Mason Witt. Mason, I know obviously an exciting environment to play in, a tough game to lose, but what are your emotions right now, after playing in such a high-intensity game like that?
It was really fun, and we were so close. I mean, I don't know how many we were up by, but felt like we were going to kind of pull away there, and they're a good team, so they came back, and we're just so close against these really good teams, and our only issue right now is the first half. First half is, the last two games, Tartan and this game, obviously. Just our first half has been sluggish, and then we've came back and shown that we're a really good team. So, once we figure that out and just play two consistent good halves, sky's the limit for us.
What was your impression of that first half as Totino-Grace was able to race to the 20-point lead? As we were watching and commentating, it seemed like the Eagles were leaking people out, and they scored probably a half a dozen baskets, fast break layups, getting behind the Cardinals defense. We don't normally see that a whole lot.
No, they have a lot of athletic players and long rebounds. They're quick, they get it out fast, and there's a reason why they're the number one ranked team in 3A. They're a really good team, and just playing these good teams, I think we're trying to prove as a team, even though we have some losses that games we probably should have won, that just prove to people that we are a high level team.
Mason, I know that your team was able to start to make its move right before halftime. How important was it to close that last 90 seconds or so, going 8-0 to trim that 20-point deficit down to 12?
Yeah, really important. Being down 20 coming out of the half, that's tough to get back to, but a very good run. And I'm proud of our team. We fought really hard, and so we gave it our all.
Mason Witt is our special guest, is our Quality Toyota Cardinal Athlete of tonight's game. Mason, I may have a couple of follow-up questions, but I want to bring Russ into the discussion as well.
Yeah. Great job tonight, Mason. I'm proud of you. I commented on the broadcast that, you just played with such confidence in that second half, knocking down everything you threw up, right? And so just talk about, for you as a basketball player, how confidence plays into your game. How much, when you start feeling good, when you start seeing the ball go in, talk about just playing with confidence, playing with determination here in that second half.
Yeah, I had a not very good first half, so I was just like, I just got to pull it together. I wasn't thinking negative, I was just trying to think positive, and don't focus on the missed shots. Just keep going. Don't worry about it. I've put a lot of time in, so I think that's where my confidence comes from, just reps on reps. And, you play a big game like this, that's where it really counts. So, yeah.
How much fun was it tonight? Just obviously disappointed that we did not come out on top, but just seeing this gym and how packed it was and how much support you guys as a basketball program and just team, it's got to be just a ton of fun to look up and see all the fans.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of adrenaline. I usually don't get super hyped like I was out there, but whenever we're playing like a big game, a lot of people in the crowd, it's just so much fun. And yeah.
Absolutely. Last question from me. You mentioned we've been so close, right? We've had some of these games. I got to believe, and I know you guys in that locker room believe that that first win is against one of these really good teams is still out there, and after tonight, maybe that's, why tonight had to happen the way it did, so that, that when you guys, the goal is to get to the state tournament, right? And, we want to try to get through these sections, but you could beat anybody you play with, right? And so just what is the mindset now for this team as you enter the playoffs?
I think, we know what we can do as a team. And, I think all of us know we can be much better in the first half, and that obviously has been our issue. It's just first half, just two consistent good halves, and we can really beat anybody, and I think we've proven that. And so, it'll be a fun run, and I think, this will fuel the fire for us. motivate us to, cruise through the section here and then get ready for state. And, we'll be ready for whatever comes at us.
Absolutely. I'm proud of you. Great job.
Thank you.
Love you, kiddo. Good job tonight.
Mason, regarding some of the strategy in the game, I talked to Nick Carroll, the Totino-Grace head coach, ahead of time, and he pointed out he knows how dangerous of an offensive threat you are, especially from three-point range. And I know that your three-point shot was not going down consistently in the first half. Tactically, did you do any adjustments in the second half because, or was it just a matter that your stroke was finding the bottom of the net?
No, I did not do anything. I just filled my mind with positive thoughts. I think that's been huge for me lately. I've had some games where I have a bad first half, and then I'm thinking negative, and just filling my mind with positive thoughts can help me go a long way. Just rebuild that confidence back. And that's what really helped me in the second half there.
I know your team ends the regular season at 18-7, but I talked to Russ ahead of time. I don't know if there was a bad loss among that group. I know the one blemish in the conference was down at St. Cloud Apollo. What did you learn about your team after suffering that conference loss a couple of Thursdays ago?
We weren't fully healthy, obviously, so that helps. But I think for me, I think for me being a leader on this team, I think, those games, I need to step up more. And I didn't really play good. I wasn't really playing with confidence. That was my issue in that game. So I think just playing confidently all the time. And, I don't think we should have lost that game. There's the BSM game. We shouldn't have lost that. Some earlier in the year, we played good teams, didn't have talent, so that didn't help us. But we still fought with them, and it's not like we got blown out by them or anything. So, we have all the right pieces, and just got to be consistent as a team, and we'll figure it out. We've gone through a lot this year, and I feel like all the pain we've been feeling as a team, it can't compare to what's coming for us. And if we just stay locked in, working every day, and all having the same goal and the same mindset. I think we can achieve something great again.
I know that yourself and your cousin Talon and Gavin and really your entire senior class of teammates, you've been in so many big games, whether it be basketball in the winter, in many instances football games in the fall and everything like that. How does having so many big game experiences help you out as you look forward to what's ahead over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, we've all had a lot of experience. For football, we made it to state every year, sophomore to senior year. Basketball, we've made it gonna make it every year, hopefully. We've played on the big stage. We have, ever since we were little kids, we've played in a bunch of championship games, grade state championships, and we just have that bond together and that chemistry, and so it's really special, and I love all my guys.
Mason, we appreciate the opportunity to visit with you. Again, I'd hope the outcome would have flipped in your team's favor, but great ball game, and I hope this is a sign of some excitement to come, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here on Tuesday night.
Yeah, thank you.
There is Mason Witt, our quality Toyota Cardinal athlete player of tonight's game. The Alexandria Cardinals fall to Totino-Grace 92-90 in the regular season finale. We'll have more of our post-game report after we enjoy these words.
Cardinals fans, did you know that
a successful win isn't about the score, it's about what you put into the game. If a successful win matters to you on the purchase or sale of your property, hard work matters to me. Todd Whiting, Century 21, 766-2200.
Enjoy life at the lake and work for a growing company that offers rewarding careers, cool machine for multiple positions across the organization. Plus, no-cost health benefits for you and your family.
First Western provides the best in customer service.
Professional, friendly, full-service banking is what you can count on at First Western.
First Western, you can bank on us.
Resorts Marine in Osiris. Check us out for new and used boats, pontoons, UTVs, and golf carts. For the whole outdoors, shop us first, shop us last, just shop us. Resorts Marine and Outdoors in Osiris.
From your first home to a growing family, life keeps moving. Hi, I'm Sarah Iverson with State Farm Insurance. Every change means something new to protect. Let's start a conversation today about your peace of mind, because like a good neighbor, Sarah Iverson will be there.
Ford, Lincoln, Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, Jeep, make it Juettner Motors your best price dealer. Make it Juettner Motors your best price dealer.
There is a man, an insurance man, located in the birthplace of America, where he is committed to helping you find the best coverage for your needs.
Welcome. I'm Keith. When you think of insurance, think of Bill Marks, where we do the shopping for you.
I see generations who are passionate about what they did. I hope that I can leave a legacy of compassion for people and love for family and friends.
At ALP Utilities, we're proud to be a community-owned public power and water utility. That means local decisions, reliable service, and reinvesting in Alexandria. From classrooms to sidelines, we're proud to be a part of the moments that bring our community together.
A broken tooth? Fixed in one appointment? Yes, we do that at Dental Health Associates with our CIRAC crowns. We'll fix your tooth in one appointment, which means less time off work, less time away from your family, and more convenience for you. You're in and out in one visit.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee from Mark Lee Excavating and Asphalt and Paving. I'm looking for people who have experience and are willing to work hard. For those that do, you can earn up to 6 figures working for my company. Give me a call and visit my website, because we're hiring and we want to talk to you about your next career with us.
Get great service at Alexandria Motors, serving your family for generations and generations to come. Stop in for a great deal on your next vehicle. Alexandria Motors, one low price, plain and simple, always.
Family, locally loved. Eldon's Fresh Foods.
Deficit going up by as many as 7 in the second half before Totino-Grace has a late rally of its own. Sophomore Daniel Zoa with the game-winning basket just in front of the buzzer to snap a 90 all-time. Totino-Grace was able to force 2 Alexandria turnovers in the closing minute of the game, and ultimately that led to a couple of Eagles baskets, 92-90 the final score. And Russ, again, this is the type of game you could probably digest for a few days and everything. And I know talking with Mason, you know, Alexandria's been so close against the Tartans and the TGs and Cretan-Durham Hall and De La Salle. And I think it's appropriate, you know, if we're fortunate enough to get to the state tournament, you know, maybe that's where a signature win against a highly touted team will come.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I think tonight it's tough. You play, you gave it everything you had. You play your tail off against a traditional power, one of the best programs in all of boys basketball in the state of Minnesota. And unfortunately, that kind of happens there at the end where things get sped up and they turn the ball over and they get an easy basket there to end the game. That's certainly not the way you want it to go. But there's a reason for everything. And I think for this group, they've been together for such a long time. They love competition. They're a bunch of winners. And now it's
guard position.
To go. When he left the game being disqualified due to fouls, the Eagles trailed by 4 in a game they ultimately won by 2. Free throw shooting, a big edge here. The Eagles were +9 at the line. 16 of 20 for Alexandria, 25 of 29 for Totino-Grace. And that offset some pretty solid three-point shooting for the Cardinals. 12 of 26 beyond the arc, although Totino-Grace was working hard to try to defend that three-point line. The Eagles were 3 of 14 from three-point range. Turnover number fairly even, 17 for the Eagles, 18 for the Cardinals. Scoring by half, Totino-Grace won the first half 49-37. Alexandria won the second half 53-43, but Totino-Grace ultimately wins the game by a deuce on Daniel Zoa's basket at the end, 92-90. The game had 6 ties on the night at 6, 12, 50, 52, 66, and 90, and a total of 7 lead changes in tonight's game, including one at the end when the Eagles got the game-winning basket from Daniel Zoa. Totino-Grace will go into the playoffs with a 22-2 regular season record. That's now 17 straight wins for the Eagles. The Alexandria boys basketball team will go into the postseason now at 18-7. Again, the Cardinals winning the Central Lakes Conference title. Regarding the upcoming seeding, which will be done, Russ, this weekend, I am of the belief that Alexandria should get the number 1 seed, even though record-wise, Monticello has a better overall record. The Magic will either be 20-6 or 21-5 at the end of the regular season. Monticello and Alexandria did not play each other in the regular season. The Magic do have 2 losses to section foes. Alexandria did not lose a game to a Section 8 Class 4A rival. That includes a rather comfortable win up at Bemidji back in the early part of February. A home win against Moorhead when Talon Witt was not available that night. I would be stunned if Alexandria is not seeded number 1 when the bracket comes out over the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a coach's vote, and so you just never know. We've been stunned before in those situations, but I think when you look at it, you know, objectively, right, the Cardinals have beaten everybody in the section that they've played. Certainly their schedule is they've challenged themselves. It's the most difficult of anybody. Monticello has, as you mentioned, they've lost to Bemidji, they've lost to Moorhead. You know, I think it's going to go, you know, us 1, Bemidji 2, Monticello 3, Moorhead 4, Elk River 5. Elk River's coming on. They're getting better. They just beat Bemidji, I think, and obviously Levi Harris is back. So, you know, that'll be a great 4-5 game, I think, regardless of, you know, if it could be, who knows where that could be looking at QRF. But, yeah, the Cardinals should be number 1. There really shouldn't be any doubt, which means that the section title comes through here and somebody's going to have to come into this gym and beat us. Yeah, and it should be fun to see the postseason unfold, and it's going to start on Tuesday night. I would anticipate if Alexandria gets the number 1 seed, St. Michael Albertville would be the opponent, and hopefully we don't see another game that goes STMA's way like the one on Tuesday night did. No, it's just about respecting your opponents. And, you know, just for a minute, I really feel bad about missing the girls' game on Tuesday. I really enjoyed watching them all year, and I think Matt is just going to do a fantastic job as the head coach. And you know, it's tough when you replace a legend to come on in and to do that, but I think he just does a great job. And so, you know, it's not the end that they wanted to, but I really enjoyed covering the girls this year. Yeah, Alexandria's girls basketball team finished 19-8, and if you would have said on November 1st, what do you think about the prospects for Alexandria girls basketball? I think people would say 19-8, you would have taken that in a heartbeat, and I think that's a sign of, you know, what Coach Helscher was able to do to coach this team up. Again, you know, they had some, games this year where they played very, very well. They had some games that were not so well, but still found a way. They end up getting a conference title, sharing it with Brainerd this year. And, you know, the Kate Hennessy's and Lauren Byers of the world, they ended up losing 1 conference game in their last 4 years of high school basketball. Absolutely, and they got a lot to be proud of. And as a program, they're going in the right direction, and you hate to see that for the seniors. But, you know, there'll be another day, and And, a lot to be proud of. I thought they had a really good year.
Russ, enjoy the weekend ahead. I will look forward to getting back together with you and JP on a Tuesday night. No preliminary game that night, so 7 o'clock game, so we'll be on the air about a half an hour ahead. But as always, a pleasure to work with you.
Absolutely. It's all real now. And so, pleasure to work with you guys again. It's awesome. And as always, go Cards.
There is Russ Henricks, our broadcast partner for Alexandria Cardinal basketball all winter long. The Alexandria JV wrapped up its season with a comfortable victory over Totino-Grace, but the Eagles varsity team flies home with the win tonight, coming back to prevail 92-90 on Daniel Zoa's basket at the end of the game to snap the 90-all tie. The Cardinals will go into the Class 4A Section 8 boys basketball tournament with an 18-7 record. Section play begins with quarterfinals on Tuesday. We will be back here at Alexandria Area High School for broadcast coverage on our platforms Tuesday night, including Leighton Media KXRA Radio and the Voice of Alexandria YouTube channel. The coverage will begin at 6:30 with our Juettner Motors pregame show, and play-by-play Tuesday night will follow at 7 o'clock. My thanks to Jackson for the terrific work back at KXRA Radio in downtown Alexandria. Thanks to JP for the work as the videographer tonight. My thanks to you for enjoying our coverage, whether you watched it on the YouTube channel or enjoyed the traditional old-school radio broadcast on KXRA. For Russ Henricks, this is Dave McClurg wishing you a good night from Alexandria Area High School, where Totino-Grace prevails in a thriller in boys basketball at Alexandria, 92-90.